Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Deadlock Air Twitch. My name is Damp, and I will be your host alongside these beautiful gentlemen next to me, Blank and Jackie, your casters for the Deadlock Core Tournament number 2. Hello, guys.
Hello, Dump.
Hello.
Hello. Number two, the
Number 2.
Classico.
Day 2, Tournament 2. It's all about the twos today.
It's all
Too
coming
bad it's not a
together.
Tuesday.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
I like that. I like that. That's
Damn,
good.
We've got
alright,
some
yeah.
rhythm. But yeah, off the bat, we are going into the picks and bans. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and discuss the game that we're about to jump into, just straight up.
Yeah, we fly by the seat of our pants here, really, don't we? We're going straight in. But you're right. It looks like they're in the opening of the banning phase right now. I think first two bans have just gone through. So for any confusion, by the way, for everyone at home as well, the first game we're going to be covering here is off the back of. You remember last night we had a matchup that just couldn't quite get finished. There was a lot of stopping and starting.
I remember.
Yeah, I'm sure
I
you all
remember.
do. Manhattan Mutants were DQ'd because they couldn't play today due to unavailability. So
Sad.
it's actually Ping Diff that move on. So we have our opening game being the Cabal taking on Ping Diff. So that's what this veto's for the context for everyone at home.
And Blank, can you talk to us while we wait for this ban about the teams that we're going to be seeing today? What games we are covering, even?
We are covering right now Cabal going up against Ping Diff from yesterday, who had some moments over there, which was kind of nice. Manhattan Mutants sadly not heading through, which is unfortunate to say the least, just because Token was such a good player over on that side from the Haze. But yeah, I think this is going to be a bit of a stomp here because this is the Cabal versus Ping Diff. We saw some good plays out of Ping Diff, but nothing spectacular. And honestly, Ping Diff is Cabal, is filled with incredible players. You got Leafa, Hydration, Sharky, all played in that Deadlock Masters tournament from Aurora, where they went toe to toe with some of the best. Those got Hawk, Samch, and Frill on side too. So yeah, a pretty scary team to go into. I think for Ping Diff, this is going to be an experience. It'll be a fun one to tell you boys at home, but not likely to make it through this stage, I don't think.
Right, and absolutely, I'm excited to see the action that we have lined up for today, but I'm sorry that we have to start talking about the bans and picks because things are moving quickly today. We have Bebop banned. That's an interesting pick. Do you guys want to talk about the Bebop nerfs that happened yesterday?
Yeah, because obviously we were saying like he was a bit overtuned, right? And it felt like he
Right.
was going to come out swinging, and he was. He was dealing some big deeps. So they've gone in with a rather targeted airstrike of different nerfs in terms of what they've done. None of it was really to the splash damage though, which is the one thing that seems to be giving him the extra big chunkiness. So a Bebop ban coming in following the nerfs still goes to show he has been nerfed, but he is quite strong still.
Yeah, it's an interesting pick, the fact that they've banned him despite the nerfs, so it's quite curious.
Yeah, I don't think the nerfs were that much, honestly. They were decent, but I personally still don't think it was enough to completely change him. Like, just the fact that you can angle that thing around corners now is massive, and also just AoE damage. Before, it was purely single target, right? Unless people lined up and you go for the old Modern Warfare 2 collateral business on them, yeah, those are situations where you get a ton of damage off. But now that you can really spam this one, dynamos, even just lashes, being able to group people up together, compared with a Majestic Leap Bebop, it's massive damage. I think they reduced the radius from 5 meters to 4 meters. I don't know. I feel like there's somewhat weird going on in terms of double dipping on damage there. That's the only thing that I could think of, but I can't imagine that would go through. It's just ridiculous damage.
What about the rest of these team comps that we're seeing so far? What do you make of this? Jackie.
Oh,
Or sorry,
Jack,
Blank.
go on,
No,
Jackie,
either
get in
one.
there. Get in there, Jackie.
I like the look of this so far. This is nice, mate, right? You know, if you're looking at what you've got here with the Mo and Krill, your Abrams, your Dynamo, that's already looking pretty lucrative to me. You've got a lot of firepower in there with the Shiv as well coming into the mix. You get those cooldown resets off. It's a big chunk of DPS. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, it's looking all right, but it's nowhere near as clean, right? It's like if you were going in to get yourself a nice new car. One of them's got an air freshener and some heated seats.
Oh.
The other, it might have a bit of, bit of good clutch to it, But that's probably about it. You'll struggle really going up hills. That's what I'm thinking. Infernus pick could be pretty nice. The Paradox in the pocket. At times, you've got a lot of burst damage from that if you play your cards right with what you're working with. But I'm definitely liking the look of the picks we're getting through here. I mean, Dynamo, Shiv, Abrams, and Mo and Krill, that's already pretty meaty.
Pretty stacked.
Yeah. I mean, Cabal here just picking up a crazy team comp. Compared to Ping Diff, though, there's this mismatch going on, right? That's the problem that I'm seeing here. You're seeing a mismatch with the Paradox, Pocket, and Infernus, those being the first three initial picks. You've got an Infernus who's trying to get towards that end game, as is the Pocket trying to get towards that mid game to do a lot of damage. You've got the Paradox who wants to get a lot done in the early game. And you don't have the symbiosis there. Whereas on the other side of things, you got Dynamo for that late game, but Mo and Krill, Abrams, and Shiv can all be a nightmare to go up against. And these are the type of lanes that you could just easily lose against. And a lot of these characters that want to get rolling, get the gas tanks burning, just aren't going to be able to towards that end game style of things. So yeah, I do sort of feel bad for Ping Diff here because they are just going against a very well drilled and oiled team who have already just, again, this is one of the, we see it a lot. We've seen it a lot recently where it's like, game's over in draft, boys. Game's over in draft.
It can happen. You live and die by the sword of the draft right now. Like, you throw the haze in there as well, right?
Oof.
Now you've got your sudden burst of
Scary.
DPS.
Yeah.
Like the assassinate potential comes in. It looks a little bit lopsided. That's what I'll say at the minute. It certainly feels a little bit lopsided.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like a very, very well-rounded team to the left. But on the right, there is potential, I will say. The Paradox, the Pocket, and Furnace, they all have potential to do a lot in high MMR plays. But let's see if they can be brought out in this competition right here. They've come out with the Lash, I guess. So we're seeing a Lash play.
There
That's
he is,
awesome.
the man himself. The Lash. Big Jacob. Yeah, I don't know.
Jacob Reno. Yeah, again, I think that's the thing, right? It's the mismatch. It's a mismatch of team comp where I don't think there's a lot to follow up from the Lash. I mean, you get the Death Slam backwards. Sure, you could try and line up maybe a combustive concussion from the Infernus, but I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it right now. You've got Seven and Haze perfectly combining with the Dynamo. Even Haze just being able to rip people apart on top of the Mo and Krill in the early game. This team leads very nicely from early to mid to late, with the 7 being that late game pick where he can just farm these other 5 characters and get a lot done early. I do think this is sort of the team comp that Ping Diff's gone for is the sort of the quintessential, let's just pick all the characters that are quite good, as opposed to what combos together quite nicely. And it is unfortunate because you can't have that mirror picks over in draft currently in Deadlock. You have to pick someone else. So sometimes you are scuppered with this one. And again, I think that if you were Ping Diff going into this, I would have tried to have picked Shiv, Abrams, Mo and Krill, Haze, all these characters, just to take them away from Cabal, so you could maybe limp through to endgame and try and win out the best of one, and it just be over. You wouldn't have to go for the second game in the best of 3.
And we are seeing, I think, a best of 1, and there will be 3 total games this evening. So we are going to see this one go down. It might be a quick game, who knows? But I hope that we at least see a nice long game. So far, they've been pretty quick, and it would be nice to really enjoy a good old Deadlock for today. Let's go back to the desk and talk about it before we go live to the game. If you guys are down to move over here, back into my little caravan. Hello.
Hello. The nice little newsstand. Yeah, keep things rolling. I think it's interesting, right? Because obviously, as the day goes, in time we got what we've got to work with. This is another one where, based on the draft, it could be relatively lopsided to start. So again, it feels like it's going to happen in a similar kind of vein to what we had yesterday with some of the games. It also goes down to how quickly those lanes are just going to get cleaned up on as well, right? If you win lane the first 4 minutes and suddenly there's some questions to be answered. I'd hope it'll be a bit more competitive here. It's worrying with the draft. We'll see what you can do in terms of the early game, though, to build into it and see if there is a timeline to stop that. But yeah, bit worrying. But of course, it's one of the 3 games that we're going to be covering today as we're guiding the action all the way up to the semi-finals.
Yeah, we will be. I think that if everyone thinking that maybe we are currently been a bit harsh over towards Pingdiff, who was the team on the right there. They just go in with their player names. Don't go in the team names. You'll see those in game though. But I think for Cabal, they are just such a strong team that it is difficult to go up against. And all respect to Pingdiff to having to play against them, right? Again, this will be an experience for them. It might not be the most fun experience in the world, but it will be an experience altogether. Like, you get to play against Leafa, Hydration, Sharik. These are all really cool players to go up against. And to be honest with you, if Pingdiff's able to pull something out the bag, I will be mega impressed. But it's not what I'm expecting.
We do have a lot of really cool players in this tournament, the best of NA, I would say. And if you want, we can actually go ahead and look at the bracket and see what we have in store for this evening. So let's go ahead and switch over to that while we wait for the game to start, which should be starting just shortly. But while we wait for that, we can see that it's going to be Catgirls versus $6 Shrimp, and we will be covering that game on this channel, including the Cabal versus Pingdiff.
Pingdiff currently Sapphire and Cabal playing over on Amber currently. Old Tinky Winky is back on his Infernus.
Oh, mate. This is going to be nice. Yeah, I can see everyone's getting in. They're getting them sorted out in the lobby for today's matchup. It's a pretty good bracket that we've been left with in terms of how things are going to go from here, right? But obviously, games we've got left for the day are pretty interesting when you're looking at the bottom end of the bracket with what we're working with. You get the Cabal versus Pingdiff to start us off. We're going to see Catgirl's team as well, which is going to be fun. That's one that we've been looking forward to, actually. I'm glad we get to catch that here on the stream up against $6 Shrimp. And then that semi-final matchup leading you to the all-important grand final, of course. Third place decider, I believe, is going to be paid off stream, so that one's not going to be broadcasted, but there will be a grand final at the end of the evening. Little online championship Sunday, guys.
Right. And if you guys had to make a prediction right now, what kind of matchup will we be seeing coming out from Catgirls and Shrimp's matchup as well? What do you think we're going to be seeing for the third match of this evening?
I reckon, to be honest with you, I feel like Catgirls have a slight edge over towards $6 Shrimp. $6 Shrimp special though, they actually do have a very good understanding of the game, honestly. And I think that was the surprising thing that we watched when they went up against 2ultrafrag. I really liked their playstyle, and it felt like they were very much taking Deadlock Esports seriously as a team. Yeah, really nice. I'm excited to see that one because Catgirls are a tried and true team that we've seen go up against some of the best teams currently in the scene so far in the Deadlock Downtown Showdown. Yeah, super excited for that matchup because I do think $6 Shrimp special could come out swinging.
Yeah, and I know that we're having a bit of an argument in chat. Cats versus seafood. Cats win every time. So in my opinion, if we're talking literally, sure, Catgirls always win over Shrimp. However, in this instance, in the Deadlock context, we know Catgirls. We know it's a great team, dominating all over tournaments. But $6 Shrimp actually really surprised us yesterday. So I am excited to see that matchup. It's going to be very entertaining. And we'll see which one come out on top, I assume against Cabal for the next game. We can't be sure.
Yeah, we can't be sure. We don't know. We don't know just yet. But I think we'll head back over to the desk now for the time being. We did have a little crash. Which is to be expected.
Just a little one.
It's good. It's the start of the game, though. Start of the game. Yeah. Maybe we're getting back into. I don't know if it was a spectator crash or a game crash.
I think it was an observer crash. It seemed like from the update I've got.
Okay,
so it looks like we are live, so we can get into this one.
All right. So I'll go ahead and send you guys off. Please enjoy the first match out of 3 that we have this evening for the Deadlock Core number 2 tournament. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, then. Here we go. We get a slip into the action for this one. The Cabal taking on Pingdiff in our opening game of the night. Yes, we had a bit of an observer crash there on the feed, but that's been resolved now, and we are ready to kick things off. So let's get into it, lads. By lads, I mean you, Blank, and the collective community.
Thank you. Yeah, let's get into this one, boys. Yeah, honestly, very excited for this one. I think Pingdiff, certainly a team that is not a pushover squad, but I think there were some weak links. There were some weak links in the armor for Pingdiff. Hate to say it, but Archvir right here playing on the Lash was certainly a player that I didn't see a massive amount from yesterday. I feel bad saying it. Certainly, definitely trying to get stuff done for the rest of his team. But that's the type of lane that I think Cabal could bully. But we've got active player here, and Sharky's already taken him down. First blood very early in the game. We got stream audio.
It should be stream audio, yeah. Although, actually, hang on. Can you hear audio?
I can't hear audio, no.
I can't hear audio either. Let me send a message. Let me send a message. Hang on. No audio on the feed? I've sent a message saying no audio on the feed. But you've got no audio, right, on your feed?
No. Should we do like a sync check whilst we do this as well?
Yeah, we might as well. Okay, so I'm at 2 minutes 45, 2 minutes 47, 2 minutes 43, 49. Actually, oh my God, hang on. Start again. Right. 53 seconds, 54 seconds, 55 seconds. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, I assume at some point the audio will kick in, but there is about 2 minutes of delay on the feed, so it'll be 2 minutes from now. But I've alerted the people in charge of the audio what's happened. So we'll see.
Hey, come on.
Oh, mate.
No, wait. He cares. I think it's Leafer on the 7. I think they're having fun. They're having fun here, and I'm glad that they're playing like that versus Ping Diff. I mean, Cabal they're a very strong team, and they are very amusing. You know what I am excited for though? Boundless Spirit Rush on Leafer on the 7 into crouch spam. This guy has been doing this weird tech, which he calls the crouch sliding, where you reach a certain momentum on 7 because he gets so fast because his movement speed scales with his spirit that you can just tap crouch and you will just constantly slide, meaning unlimited ammo, technically.
It's sick. It is really sick. If you haven't seen it, definitely check his tweets because he's got some smooth moves. Some of the clips are pretty damn tasty. And at the minute, it's looking good for the aggression coming out from the Cabal. The hit squad moving up, putting pressure on all of the lanes. Again, you're only 4 minutes deep, and you are absolutely harassing them. The Wraith is about to meet her maker, get set up on a date with the Coroner, and it's Shiv that slices through. You're going to be able to get out as well with menial damage back onto you. So the pressure being spread amongst these lanes is already starting to mount. Ooh, Hayes is being chased, and that's a brutal way to go.
It is for Jacky there. It does in fact go down. They're trying to group up on him. And again, I think realistically the Cabal are playing pretty loose with it. But the soul lead is quite high. So the fact that you're getting those kills going through does mean that you're getting some of that comeback gold, comeback souls coming through there for Ping Diff. So we went from like 21k to 13k now to 22k to 17k. So kind of huge.
I assume this is the point some shenanigans were going on to fix the audio. I feel like the audio will be coming in. I'm guessing so, right? Because it looks like he's tapped out. So I'd imagine it's inches away from the return of the audio for the game. We'll see.
Hello. Oh Lord.
There it is. All right.
Oh, brace your ears for that one. Oh, okay. Wild.
Well, that's lovely. We've got audio back. Shout out to the observers.
Right, stop tabbing. No more tabbing.
It's fine. He's in. He's tapped in now. He's in. He's locked in. He's locked in. Shiv's giving it. It's all continuing. The Cabal doing what they do best effectively at this point. It's what we expected. You're coming out swinging. They've got the brass knuckles on. It's illegal tech, but they're going to be using it anyway. And you're just farming on this one. Leafer just keeps hitting. Shocking maneuvers over and over again. Trying to just get the pure damage off onto the Guardian. You want to dive with the Dynamo and deal damage. Flame's going to make it uncomfortable. Concussive Combustion at least slows them down. You burn the ult for the 1-for-1, or at least that's what you hoped for. But I don't think you're going to get much from this at all. Left for dead in the subway.
A really smart move, actually. You just baited out the translocation on Dynamo. Oh, come on, dude! The parry as well! It's unbelievable! The second parry!
Hello? Oh, mate. All right. The pit fights have come back for Lash. He lives up to his lore on that one with a backup of Wraith. Fists galore. And yeah, I mean, that's one hell of a way to at least get a couple of kills back on your side. The problem is, though, dude, look at the objectives already. Your lanes are just getting trounced. Think of the lanes.
Will someone please think of the lanes? Someone think of the walkers. In comes a little bit of damage over towards the Wraith here. But yeah, what I was going to say is there's a great translocation to kind of bait out the combustive concussion over towards the Dynamo into Leafa dashing away, so it doesn't actually get anything done. So very, very well done. But yeah, Leafa into the double parry versus the Lash. On a situation where he should have been dead to rights, lives a far bit longer than he realistically should have done. Dynamo 1v1 in the pocket. Don't see that one every day.
Bit of a rare treat for the viewers at home today. He's starting to get farmed as well, at least finding opportunities on Ping Diff to steal some souls away and build back in, but finding an opportunity here to really push back against what is becoming nearly a 20k soul lead. It's not going to be easy. Abrams, though, again, the parry to the face. Oh, bro, it's going to hurt. All right, so double up. You take down Dynamo and Abrams. So a good response in the tussle, but the head-to-head lead doesn't last long, with both Infernus and Lash getting it right back.
Yeah, honestly, for Maxicore there, that is a test of patience, right? Because you get the ultimate drop into you, he lets the stun go through, still doesn't punch, and he doesn't go for the parry. Gets the shoulder charge off, still doesn't punch, and they weigh out the parry. So either it's a case where this is a masterclass on knowledge checking your opponent of when they're going to punch, or Maxicore just forgot to press parry that entire time and presses it at the end. Could go either way, I'm not sure.
And that's the beauty of Deadlock. You'll never really know, so you can just leave it up to mystery. Keep people guessing, mate. That's all that matters. Oh, bro. Oh, well, again, man, like, you look at it for what it is, at least. You know, you're getting some room to flex the muscles a little bit. Soul lead is there, though, 16k ahead. Abrams wants to go in for the revenge and slams Infernus straight against the wall. So that flame's going out. Paradox getting hit with the problems as well as Shiv slices. And you just keep pushing on this. Abrams harassing the Warden.
Yeah, the fact that he can draw the attention of 3 players sort of nuts into the kinetic pulse as well, bro. We're playing extra recharge, Mystic Burst, extra spirit, and Mystic Reach on the Dynamo. Oh, brother.
Bad news bears right now. Problems on the streets of New York. Farms getting stolen as well as Kabbalah puts so much further up. Dynamo staring Leafa straight in the eyes, asking him about his MS Paint skills.
Yeah, they were pretty diabolical, we'll put it that way. But yeah, pretty fun game so far. Everyone's saying that McKLS ended the game in 8 minutes. His team ended it 8 minutes. Honestly, McKLS didn't have the greatest game that time either, by the way. He played pretty well, but I feel like Listic did go kind of crazy.
Always a team effort, mate.
Exactly.
6 fingers on 1 foot.
6 fingers. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
you can't neglect any one of those fingers in Deadlock either. It's buff enjoyers, not Team McKLS anymore. Buff enjoyers.
Rebranded, slightly different roster, and making it look good. Meanwhile, at the minute here, you're just getting free room to harass and consistently deal damage up deep on towards the Greenwich Walker. Make it incredibly uncomfortable. You've basically cleared everything other than that one Walker at this point as well. Ooh, Warden caught out by the electricity box and absolutely ruined from the Shiv. Dives in as well, looking for the follow-up from the Assassinate with the ult. He's going to keep on going. This man is a deep sea diver. Doesn't matter how deep he's got to go. He's still got more oxygen left in the tank.
Honestly, a fed Shiv at this stage of the game is just nutty. He's maxed out ultimate at this point as well. Gets him on the zip line, and that's 5 just on the Shiv alone.
Yeah. Have you met my mate, Stanley Blade? Comes out swinging. The butcher knife here on the side of the Cabal. Sliced his way through them, and Shiv off the back of that play. Staggers the respawn, so you can start to come back up, but it's not going to be pretty for you. You have decimated the base now. Only really one set of the base Guardians left alive as well. Bit of a knock up from the Lash, but you're still going down numbers. This is looking like it's going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, bro. I mean, to be honest with you, fair play to Hawk, you know, is able to get off the ultimate thing that you never get to see in your own games, which is getting the 5-man ult reset. But yeah, proud of him for that one. That's going on a highlight reel, for sure.
I will love that. That'll be in the Frag movie. You can have that with Bullet for My Valentine playing over the top. Tears don't fall.
They crash around
me. Oh. That would be
a little
going
bit
in.
distortion as well on the side. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. Look, the paradox, enlightening. I said that it would be an experience for them. It depends how they took the experience, and I'm glad. Look, it is a learning experience. Not a winning experience, but a learning experience.
It's a benchmark. It's a benchmark. That's what matters. We didn't expect this one to be too meaty, if I'm honest, off the back of Ping Diff. But for the Cabal, it's another day in the office. The classic Texas two-step there from Leafa, showing off the little slide, the stutter steps, and just wanting to close it down. Little base dive for the explosive finish, and that's the way it goes with the Cabal taking the victory on our first game of the bracket for today.
Yeah, that's a tough one, bro. It certainly is a tough one going through. So the semi-finals, I believe that's now Cabal going against the winners of the $6 Shrimp Special and Cat Girls Fiasco going through. It would be a rematch. It would be a finals rematch from the Deadlock Downtown Showdown between Cat Girls and the Cabal, which would be quite fun. Cabal did win that one out, though.
Tasty, like $6 shrimp. But also,
At a buffet.
I wanted to talk about the team names that we just saw. I want to make a few puns, if that's okay, if you'll allow it.
You've got some puns. You've come prepared with puns.
I've got a few puns.
Okay.
I saw some good ones in chat.
Let's go for it.
Ping difference must have had a real ping difference this match.
That's
Okay.
not a
Yeah, I
pun,
mean,
that's just like
a
their name.
Yeah,
What would you call
fair
that?
enough.
Just like a chuff.
Oh, it's like a dad joke, I guess.
That's
Right?
All right, fair.
Not even a dad joke, it's a statement.
And then there was also, this is just a question I had, to be fair. This
Okay.
isn't really a pun. Do you think that the Cabal just like wanted to be called the Cable and they misspelt it and they didn't know how to spell cable?
Is this
They
what you
spelled
were
it
like
the
workshopping
cobble.
the whole time?
That is incredible.
I was
Yeah,
like, this is
all
what
right,
we need to
fair
talk
enough.
about on the analyst.
This is what I've been brainstorming.
This
I've
is
come
it.
prepared with a segment, guys.
I come prepared. Cabal.
Do you think Cabal is similar to Cable?
No, I'm saying, do you think that they meant to
No,
call themselves?
I know what you mean. I know what you
We
mean.
BB.
Yeah, we BB.
With BB.
We BB.
All right, but for
Oh.
real, let's talk about that one-sided stomp.
Yeah.
I think so. Immediately out the gate, the Soul lead was kind of like the disparity was a bit
Yeah.
much. So talk to
Yeah.
me about that. Why was it so uneven?
Well, it's disheartening for Ping Diff. Let's put it that way. It's disheartening at the start
It's a
of that
little
game.
sad.
But we'll say one thing. The Cabal didn't take that game mega seriously, which is nice, I think. I think having a little bit of competitive spirit in you for those final games is good. When you know you're going up against a team that it's not Ping Diff, it would be Skill Diff in this particular situation.
True,
I
yeah.
think it is unfortunate, right? And I'm glad that they had some fun with that game because there was a lot of plays, a lot of mistakes that Cabal made because they were having fun and they were just pushing a lot. And that gave at least some opportunity for Ping Diff to get back into the game. So if I look at that, that is just a disparity of skill between the
Yeah.
squads. There was no real deep analysis to be had there. There was no amazing plays or abuse of mechanics that was going on. It was just two teams that are on different levels, realistically. But again, bottom line, I'm glad that the Cabal tried to have fun with Ping Diff at least.
And the team comp didn't help them, right, Jacky? It wasn't in their favor, was it?
No, we were a bit worried, right? Like, it's one thing to know, obviously, the names and expect the plays that are synonymous with these guys now. But to see the difference in terms of what you had to work with the comp as well, never makes your life easier. So it was a bit brutal. Like Blank said, we had some little highlights, little moments of fun and games, some shenanigans sprinkled in. But I think in reality, obviously, we expect the Cabal to go far, right? They're one of the highest seeds coming into the event when you look at their placement in the bracket. Them really in a position now where, like Blank says, it's all about the rematch, right? You find your way through Catgirl and Co later on if they're able to make it deep following their next game versus the $6 fried shrimp special. If they can take that one away, we get a fun rematch, and then of course you're only one step away from the semi-finals, straight through obviously to actually take things down the grand final. Hell of a game that we could get out of it as well, depending on how things go in these next couple games. So obviously we've had a few tasters, right? A couple of smaller courses. I think we're getting some real meat and potatoes in the semis and the grand final. That's what we've all been waiting for.
Do we have an updated bracket, by the way? Is that something that we can provide?
I mean, I can make an updated bracket, but
No,
I'm
it's
not.
it's all right.
I
was
don't
just
have it right
asking.
now.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I just know that the other game is finished now, so I don't know if we wanted to have a quick
No.
look at it.
Yeah,
but if
well,
it's not ready, it's totally fine.
But yeah, I mean, next game for us anyway is Catgirl and Friends versus $6
Yeah.
Special Shrimp.
Okay, that's what we should
Yeah.
focus on. By the way, Jackie, so me and Blank had this discussion, but I think you were busy producing. Let me ask this to you now. Do you think in a real life scenario that the $6 shrimp special would come out on top, or the cat girls? Which one would win?
Probably the Catgirls. They just eat the shrimp, but then would they really enjoy it?
I don't know. It's $6.
Oh, well, that's our cat getting involved. He's giving his
$6.
opinion. Yeah.
Does he have opinions?
He's meowed. He's meowed from the side. Yeah.
Our catster.
Yeah. I mean, here, like, if I throw the bracket up for a sec, I might be able to fix up the bracket. But
Yeah,
you
do
can
it.
at least see the next game on there. It's on there.
Talented producer Jackie.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
It's what you do.
That's awesome, bro. Well done.
Thanks,
Good
dude.
job. Wow.
There's a
Round
lot
of
of,
well
like-
done, Jackie.
There's like a lot of fishing things going on in this bracket. You got fishing
Yeah,
rods,
lots of
bottom barrel, $6 shrimp.
sea-based conversations.
Yeah, and I like that they all made it through as well. Is it Sleepy Kitty Gang? Is that their name? Sleepy Kitty Gang.
Kitty Gang.
Classic behavior. Very nice. Who are the two top teams? Yeah, Buff and Joy is the Cabal, I'd say. By far as well. I think I would go on the line to bet my eyebrows that both of them will make it to the grand final.
That's the matchup we'll be seeing.
Yeah, I'll
That's fair.
shave both my eyebrows off if that's not the case.
Jackie, what do you have to say about that?
Would you bet your beard?
What? That would be the grand final?
Yeah.
The Buff Enjoyers
I mean,
versus Cable final.
Versus Cable. I feel like it's pretty likely. Yeah. I'm not betting my beard. I'm never betting my beard. People always ask that though. He's like, "Would you ever shave off your beard for this?" Haha. And
They
it's like,
always
no,
ask
dude.
that.
It's just hair, bro. I'm not. Why am I gonna shave it off? Stop
No,
it.
that's good though. That's what I'm asking. You said
But-
you wouldn't, so you're saying there's
No.
a chance. That's
No,
what you're saying.
just as a rule of
Just
thumb, I'm just never
refuse?
going to use my beard as some kind of betting tool, you know. But yeah, I think it probably will be both of them in a head-to-head in the grand finals. Most likely, right? That's your number one and number two seed, respectively. I think it's going to be the best test we've seen with that head-to-head matchup. Yeah, I think Buff and Joys versus the Cabal will be nice. It'll be fun. Obviously, when you especially factor in as well, like initially, Buff and Joys weren't even taking place, right? I believe it was Renaissance that were playing, then they dropped out, so it opened up a slot. Buff and Joys came in. We had Pudov that dropped out as well and replaced by the Sleepy Kitty Gang. So a lot of cats.
Who
What
dropped
was
out?
that name? Sorry.
Pudov. Pudov.
Kudo?
Yeah,
Right. Pudov.
Yes, classic.
Pudov.
I
You got
don't
an
know.
obsession with anything that starts with the letters P-O, didn't you?
Yeah, I love
Why?
Poe as well.
Yeah, big fan of Poe, this guy.
You like a poem, do you?
Yeah, but you called him Pooh. It's unacceptable.
Well, that's what his name was.
Don't come at me about Tinky Winky and the gang.
What are these casters? This is our channel. You
I do what I
came
want.
here.
Yeah, you came here of your own accord.
You.
alright? You know who you are.
You know who you are.
But yeah, man, I'm definitely excited. I think Cabal, it's the Catgirls versus $6 Shrimp. Like I said, I think $6 Shrimp Special, not Club. I keep calling it $6 Shrimp Club for some reason. But that team is a strong team that actually does know their ins and outs of Deadlock. In terms of like mechanical skill, I think that's where they're maybe not on the same level as Buff Enjoyers, but again, Buff Enjoyers are very far up the ladder right now.
Right.
But yeah, them or Catgirls, it's one or the other. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm real unsure between them.
I want to talk about how quick that previous game was, and not just this previous game for Buff Enjoyers, but just in general. High MMR Deadlock games right now feel incredibly quick, and I don't know if that's going to be the case forever. We did talk about that. So what are your
yeah.
opinions on that, Blank?
I don't think it's high MMR. I don't think it's high MMR at all. Like, high MMR games go on for a long time. They can go up to like 40 minutes, right? And the issue with these is it's disparate. It's like pitted. We don't actually have a rank system here, but if you were to take an arbitrary number and say this team was 4,000 elo going against ping difference, which was 1,000 elo, like they shouldn't be in the same bracket, right? I would say that Cabal are at that high MMR. So it's just the cool thing with Deadlock is that it's very easy and noticeable when one team is better than the other, right? And that leads to very quick games.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys to the caster cabin so you can break this down even more. And you guys at home can enjoy this next game we have lined up. It is going to be the Cabal. No, it's going to be Catgirls versus $6 Shrimp. My bad. Please enjoy this game as Jackie and Blaine take you into the action shortly.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Oh, we're going to a break, are we? Okay.
Yeah,
we're going to a
yeah.
quick break then.
We'll have a break.
My
We'll
mistake.
fix some things behind the scenes, and then we'll get stuff set up, guys.
So don't
we'll
go
be-
anywhere.
We'll be back in a few moments' time.
We be.
We be.
Would be B. Welcome back, everyone, to the Deadlock Air broadcast. We have fixed some stuff behind the scenes, so don't you worry. We are back with some more action for you to digest. Yes, more Deadlock content for your little brain sponges.
Were you sneakily drinking something, Blank? What did you have there? Was it like a bottle of water?
I was like a
You
cheesy.
embarrassed him.
I had a cheesy snack as well.
Good cheese string? You
a
just eating
cheesy
cheese
snack.
string?
No,
Just in
it's
between
like-
games?
No, it's like cheese twist.
Oh,
Slightly
cheese
more.
twist.
It's more lady gas aristocrat level of
Wait,
the
a
cheese
cheese
string.
twist? Isn't a
it's
cheese
sophisticated
twist?
cheese snacks, all right, Jack?
Well, no, but isn't that just? It's like a
it's like
stick
a
with
pastry.
cheese. It's like
Nah,
a
it's
stick
like a
with
pastry.
cheese. No?
I'll show you one actually. Check this out.
Yeah,
What about that?
that's why I just said it's a stick with cheese. Look at it. It's a stick cheese.
That's not a stick, though, is it? It's like
Well, it is
pastry.
like, come on, what would you describe that as? A baton-shaped
Pastry.
object? No,
cheese twist.
but it's not a pastry, is it? Because it's
cheese
not.
twist.
This is ridiculous. Your
Cheese twist.
categorizations they're out of whack.
What do you mean? That's what it's called,
They're out of
cheese
whack.
twist.
If you went in to a one shop,
Can't just be like going apples, that's green circle that.
Wait.
Can't
I
do
really
that.
I like the direction that Jackie's question was heading. Go on, Jackie, about the
what I'm
one
saying,
shop.
if he went into a one shop, and
Right.
like the old man would take one look at him, you know, and he'd be like, "Oh, the cheese stick chooses you," and it would fly at you and go in
Yeah.
your mouth.
right
I'd be
into your
like-
mouth.
I'd be like, that's cheese twist, you feel me?
Yeah, that's what
That's
he
a
did.
cheese twist.
Mr. Potter, your father's wand was also a cheese twist.
I think my dad's wand would be like a cheese pasty. Like
What have you
bean,
just
like
said?
a bean and cheese pasty.
What is that, mate? I think my dad's wand would be a cheese pasty.
Yeah, right. You'd like wave it at people. You've been beansed. It's like
Right.
it's a Vada Kedavra moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
While
Spectre
we're waiting
Patronus!
for the picks and bands, this is what we're
beans.
talking about.
Really? Well, they're not here yet. I don't think. Are they here?
No, I mean, they're not. One team's in. Catgirl's in. Catgirl
Right.
always on time. Catgirl always on time.
Catgirl is
Catgirl
always
always
on
on time.
it.
Always on
But-
time.
Wait, let me
cat-like
see.
reactions.
Can I like zoom in on the cat girl she's got as the profile picture today?
Is it a new cat
You're
girl
such a
image?
weirdo.
What
You're
do you
gonna
mean?
analyze
Oh,
which
it's like a-
anime cat girl
It's
this
a cat
is.
girl eating some sort of. It looks like a flank of meat.
Yeah, it's like raw meat.
It's like
That's
raw. That doesn't
crazy.
look
That's what they
good.
do, to be fair, isn't it?
Ooh, that's true. Cats can eat raw meat. I
Yeah.
forget that.
They're meant to,
That's
rather, as
crazy.
well.
Yeah, that
Actually.
looks like a bit demonic actually.
Yeah, it's a little bit spooky when you
Blue
think
haired
about
cat
it.
girl though. Classic
Yeah.
behavior.
Shout out cat girl one time.
Shout out cat girl 2 time.
When is
Nice.
the next match? We are currently waiting for this match to start. It's the second match of the evening, and we have 3 total, so don't go anywhere. There aren't that many games, so this is all you get. Revel in it while you have it, and we are currently waiting for this match to start. So yeah, that's
It's like
where we're
having
at.
like a nice yogurt, you know, even with a little spoon. There's
Yeah,
not much
right.
yogurt in there, but the yogurt you get is really nice. And the more you get towards the bottom, the more you're savoring it. So you're like, ooh,
Then you scrape it as well.
quarterfinal.
You're like, "Ooh,
Exactly.
maybe a little more.
Grand final, you know?
This is making me think of that guy. It's like, oh, what does he even say?
When he's
now?
trying the ice cream,
Yeah.
he goes, aerate it, warm it up.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Give it the lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That's good. That's good.
Cover all 10,000 taste buds.
Oh, bro, I'm so glad that you knew.
That's a 10.
Yeah, that's a 10. That's a 10.
That's a
Thank
10.
you. Schlongkon
I feel
knows.
like I get his accent confused though with the Gordon Ramsay guy who had the Wagyu burgers. You know, I get them mixed up.
Oh yeah, I remember that guy. He
Yeah.
was a weirdo.
Yeah,
Total weirdo.
that's prime Wagyu, Gordon.
That's Wagyu.
What
You're a
you've done
mug.
there-
You're a mug. Your burgers are shit,
Wagyu. Wait,
but it's prime Wagyu, Gordon.
Yeah, but you're freezing it.
Yeah.
You're freezing it.
Is it frozen? It's fresh frozen, so it's frozen.
What was it? What was he doing? It's like he's freezing them and then bringing them out.
Yeah.
It wasn't seasoning or anything, was it?
I don't even know if it was like, yeah, no, it was not cooked correctly. I don't even know if it's like a real Wagyu. A lot of people get
No,
scammed.
he said it was like fake. He was like, "This is imported Australian Wagyu," and he was like hammering home that they'd ship it in from Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they would pre-cook them, like boiled burgers in water, and then
It was
he'd
wrong.
bag them, and then he'd warm them up the next day, which is mental.
So the best part about that episode is some hidden Kitchen Nightmares lore that you might not know about. Is
Oh.
that they actually left. So every time I watch Kitchen Nightmares, I go read up afterwards. So
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
same,
yeah,
same.
yeah. You
Yeah,
got to see if
I
they're
got-
still
I
open.
got-
You have
know what
to.
happened
Are they
afterwards,
still
yeah.
open? Who knows?
He immediately went back. This wasn't a case of like 3 months of success. He immediately went back to his ways, fired the chef that stood him up on the show, and then
No.
closed down a month later. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so
brutal.
scuffed.
Got his Wagyu back in. He was having a
Yeah.
good time.
Look,
Like,
Gordon, you're a tit.
have you ever had Wagyu, by the way?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. What is your
not-
opinion on it?
It's alright.
It's alright. Yeah, Jackie
think,
also feels
uh,
the same way.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not that crazy.
It depends how it's done, because it's like, I think if you get it at a very high class restaurant, it can be really nice. But Wagyu's not that hard to get your hands on.
I
honestly.
really liked it. I remember I tried it. I was like, oh, this is nice.
That's a
This
Wagyu.
is this is
Yeah.
good steak.
Just get
yeah.
ribeye. Just get
I,
ribeye. It's just so.
it's not.
I find the more important one being real wasabi, because obviously everywhere
Oh,
just gives
yeah.
you dyed horseradish. It's not real wasabi.
Right.
Most people don't know that you've been going through life bumbling around,
Just eating mustard.
lies. You know, being given horseradish that's been dyed, and they said you want some wasabi, and you have it, and it's not actually wasabi. When they grate it in front of you and you get the real wasabi, noticeably better.
That's nice wasabi.
Drastically better. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I've had real wasabi. Snorted it. It's bad.
Sorry?
Yeah.
What?
Are you snorting wasabi, bud? What are you doing?
Is that at your house? Actually, think
That
you're
wasn't
fine.
wheel. No, that was
Sorry?
That wasn't real wasabi.
Jackie?
That was not wheel wasabi. You willy boy. Bow bow.
Real wasabi.
I put the first one on you, haven't I? Told you it was real wasabi. It was fake.
Wait, why are people snorting wasabi?
Snorted fake
But
wasabi.
again, hang on. That wasn't even wasabi, dude. That was pepper.
No, it
You
wasn't.
snorted pepper. But Blank.
That was afterwards.
He
I
was
tested
really
everything.
That was
ill.
afterwards.
He was really ill. We were very hungover. We'd been on a night out drinking. When Blank had some pepper to wake him up because he felt
It
very
worked.
sick, and it woke him up. He was fine. He had the
Yeah.
pepper. He was fine.
I don't know if
Yeah.
that's viable.
What do you
but
mean? We saw it work.
Yeah.
Real time.
It's not.
I
That
did-
doesn't mean it's good. Is it?
I was a bit confused because like in that state of being really hungover, when Blank's like, I need pepper. I went to
need
my fridge and I came back with like bell peppers.
I can imagine that, dude.
And I had like bell peppers, and I'm like, what do you want to do with these? And he's like, no, ground pepper. And I'm like, okay, I see what you mean now. So I went back and I got the pepper, and I ground some onto his hand, and he sniffed it, and then he went, I'm okay now.
Yeah. I don't know. I
And
had
then
like
he
an
came
epiphany
back.
moment.
Yeah, he came back.
I had an epiphany moment. The pepper was what I needed in that time.
Just brought him back to life. It brought him back to
Yeah,
life. It
that's
was
good.
crazy.
I imagine
Um,
that's like smelling salts of some kind, but like, you know,
Oh, it was
way
pepper.
more.
Yeah, I think
Jank.
it just straight pepper to the brain. I think.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
that,
like what?
you
What does
know,
that mean?
Pep me up.
In that
Pep me up
state of
good.
delirium, he'd been peppered, and that was enough for his brain to
Yeah.
like soft reboot and just
People
go.
are saying, stop yapping, get to the
We're-
drafts. It's
we're
not
doing a
up
bit.
to us.
What do you
Doing
want me
a
to
bit
do,
right now.
bud?
What do you want us to
me-
do?
Do you want me to go around their house and get them to all log into the draft
Oh.
website and pick their characters? Do you?
Can.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
silly
won't be here for a
sausage.
while,
Come
though.
on. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, got to spice the brain for good function.
But yeah,
True.
please
Yeah.
don't
True.
snort anything, guys. I know this is like, I don't know why I even have to say this, but Deadlock Air does not endorse snorting of horseradish, wasabi, or pepper of any kind.
Yeah, we
Not
don't like.
endorsing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not going to say like we sponsor it.
I
If
just
you do
done
it
it.
in your own time, I
No.
guess whatever. But like it's
Yeah.
we personally don't recommend you to. Like, didn't tell
Yeah,
know.
It really worked.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like, don't start tweeting like dead air said wasabi's
Dead
really
Air
good
told me
for
to
a
sniff
cold.
these peppers.
You know what
I
I
feel
mean?
so much better.
Yeah, like that.
Thanks,
that
Dead
would
Air.
be. That would be
on, man.
mental. That would be mental. We do have the draft, by the way. It's began. So shout out
Oh,
to that
has
one
it?
guy.
Okay, lovely. Great.
Because you complained, it started. Look at you, bud. Well
Yeah.
done.
Well done,
That's,
bro.
that's your 5 minutes of fame.
I like that Adam's changed his name from Don't Body Yourself. You know, he's trying
To
try
rank
to-
one slaw because you
Try,
rebranded.
try to remain anonymous. Isn't
He's trying to
he?
keep us guessing, but I can tell because it's that same shade of pink he always uses.
yes. Can't escape
Yeah.
our eyes. Can't escape our
I've
eyes.
seen you. I've seen
Yeah.
you.
Am I right? Did Cat Girl's team ban Yamato?
Yeah.
It looks like it. It looks like Yamato is gone.
Interesting.
Yamato, more like Yamano.
Where...
I saw it yesterday. Very well.
Oh, that's good.
All right. Real talk though. Real talk.
Real talk.
$6 shrimp special played it yesterday. Had a lot of success on it yesterday
Yes.
as a front line. Which is why right now they're proper gobsmacked. They don't know what to do. They're worried. You can see them.
I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left. You've taken me, Yamato.
I'm panicking now. I'm panicking.
I'm gonna need some help. I've just woken up and there's a lady in my house dressed as a cat and she's taken me Yamato away. I'm scared.
Oh my. We've seen a viscous ban out of
is
all
awesome.
things.
This is an awesome.
That's
draft right now.
crazy. What are these bans today? That's so weird.
I love it. Viscous is a good ban. I don't think it's as good as it used to be. I think he's received like quite a few changes that doesn't make him as oppressive as he used to be
Yeah.
in lane. It was almost impossible to lose lane as Viscous about 2 weeks ago. Certainly doable now. Bebop pick into the Dynamo Abrams. Now that's scary.
Yeah, it is a bit, mate. It is a little bit actually. This is spicing up a little bit.
This is
So
pepper.
the Abrams has been on the pepper.
Yeah.
Dynamo, if he had nostrils, Dynamo would be all over it like Henry the Hoover. But for the meantime, I mean, yeah, all right. So Catgirl's team with a Bebop, post nerf, still not
Right.
that bad, still pretty strong. You take Kelvin as well. All right, obviously, like we discussed yesterday, right? Back on the 12th, you change him a little bit in terms of his usability. You don't necessarily nerf him. It was an adjacent nerf. It was a flat reduction to his movement slow and his fire rate slow, sure, but his utility just changed. You
like
get
a
an
burst,
Infernus
right?
as well. Yeah, exactly. It's a blurst buff and nerf all in one.
Yeah.
And then you get Infernus, so that's another whole load of utility you've picked up. So already some pretty meta picks here for both teams.
It's pretty balanced, honestly, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think the Dynamite Abrams is a strong couple of picks coming through from the $6 shrimp special, and Kelvin actually synergizes really well with Bebop and Infernus, because Infernus realistically just wants to keep characters locked down, but he doesn't have any reliable stun other than his ultimate. But that requires to place himself in danger, usually using your only escape tool on Flame Dash to get into that position to hit a big ult. With Kelvin there, he can just keep people at bay with the 70% slow, whilst he just absolutely pummels them with toxic bullets and afterburn. In the meantime, as well, getting that slow off for the Bebop, really strong. Shivan Vindictor. I actually, this is shaping up to be a good game. This is what we're saying. Cabal versus Pingdiff. That was always going to be a stomp, but this is going to be a closer matchup. I already like both the drafts.
Jackie, what do you make of this team comp? This is looking pretty close, honestly. I'm not sure what's going to happen here.
It's a lot better, yeah. It's definitely a lot better than what we had in some of our previous games. That's what we were saying, right? Like, the further you get into that proverbial yogurt that is the Deadlock Core 2, the closer you get to those better and better games. And this could be one of them. This should actually be a pretty nice head-to-head, at least. I like what we're getting here. I'm a big fan of Vindicta right now. I think she's super fun to play, even with some of the changes that have come in. You even really kind of ruined her. They were on a streak of inadvertently buffing her over the past few patches with changes made to gameplay in terms of the map and other adjacent items that are super useful for her, even when she wasn't getting direct buffs. Cat's on the move. It's fine. So I think Vindicta's in a pretty fun spot. So it's cool to get her back out in play. If you can snowball with it, especially with the new changes, with sharing that assassination souls as well, it's actually viable now for you to kind of farm your team up around you. It's not as selfish anymore as a sniper. You're not like the selfish IGL if you were a CS player, just getting the AWP and being asked for people to drop it to you all the time. Well, Mo and Krill on the other side of things for Catgirl. So you get the disarm, you get the disable, you get all the power of the mole.
Yeah, I think you're totally right as well. I was going to mention the Vindicta stuff as well, because I'm curious to see what the changes are like in a format like this. I think the big one and the interesting one is the 20% extra damage on Assassinate on the headshots. But yeah, the big one to consider is the sharing of souls and how quickly is that going to get people ahead. I'm also sad Valraven? Valraven? I think that's how I'm going to say it. I'm also sad that we've not seen the Catgirl live yet. That's kind of a staple for Catgirl. So hopefully it comes out soon.
But if we are talking about Deadlock Core number 2 being a proverbial, you said, yogurt, Jackie?
Yeah.
The first game was basically the yogurt that is on the lid when you take the lid off
The
of
one
the
lick.
yogurt.
That's what I was able to say
you
quickly.
lick it once, you enter the yogurt state, and then this is when you actually hit the yogurt for the first time, and you're like, oh, this is nice yogurt.
Yeah.
And you get to dig into a lovely, tasty game between Catgirl and $6 shrimp special.
Oh, 100%. And now we just learn when we get in game with the laning phase, like, did they choose the big spoon or have they gone for the little spoon? 'Cause
Exactly.
obviously
Are they
with the
gonna
little
savor
spoon,
their
right?
time?
Like, yeah, you're going to savor that. You're going to enjoy that a little bit. Or big spoon, it's over before it's even started, really. That's like a free bomb special. I'm not going to get baited with this. Because we saw McGinnis picked last time, but it was a bug with the veto graphic, and then it actually turned out it was Ivy. So there's either a timeline here where they have just gone absolutely nuts, and we get the McGinn out of nowhere.
No
But
way.
I don't believe it. I'm going to say this will be an Ivy pickup, which would make sense for Catgirl
No way.
and would be the smart thing to go for. So don't get rused. I've seen this before. I think the website just has a bit of a bug for some reason when Ivy is picked. But we'll see. Over on the other side of things, though, you get the last pick that's going to be coming in for the $6 shrimp special. You got Haze before this as well. So a lot of burst damage, a lot of DPS. Like, it's a relatively strong comp on either side. This is one that could be relatively fun. This is your comic book matchup. You know, you got the Colossus versus the Juggernaut.
She is. Sorry, go ahead, Blank. My bad.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's almost a mirror comp to what we saw Cabal play in the first game for $6 shrimp special. I assume that's going to be a Lady Geist pick coming through on the last pick here, just because of Fat Poofy Cat, which would make sense. There it is. Is it actually a McGinn?
I don't reckon it is.
It's not changed though.
Now, people in chat are saying that she's meta, people are sleeping, McGinnis, please. But I think after talking to Piggy, which is one of the pro players that won the Deadlock Masters tournament, that McGinnis is kind of surface level. There's not a lot of complexity to her character compared to others like Paradox, where there's a lot you can do with them. McGinnis is just pure. What you see is what you get, and there's not much movement. There's not much complexity. There's not much you can do aside from that. And
It's
you don't see her in high MMR plays usually for that
well,
reason.
it is interesting because it is Naked McGinnis, right? I assume it's Naked McGinnis because he made all the majority of the builds on McGinnis that you see over in the in game anyway, in the in-game builds. They're from Naked McGinnis. You probably see Naked's gun McGinnis in there, which got a lot of popularity. But he was in the top 100 for a while, and I think he had around about 350-ish games on McGinnis. Didn't play it as much recently. I think he was more on the Shiv hype. But yeah, if it is Naked McGinnis, I'd be happy to see how he plays it. I think that the funny thing is that I've been
Cool.
searching for match IDs, but because he hadn't played McGinnis in so long, I couldn't find any. So this is actually very nice for me. Thank
So
you.
is this the narrative actually? Like, are we actually getting McGinnis? Or is
Yeah,
that-
that's why we were so disillusioned to it by it being
can't be
bugged
real.
when we'd seen it before that we actually get it for real. Okay, well then this will be fun. This will be
Awesome.
interesting at the very least. You know, you asked this way back on day one, right? You were thinking, is anyone going to cheese
Yeah.
pick a McGinnis? You get what you asked for this time around, I guess. So we really have gone for the big spoon.
all of the things that I was like, do you think we're gonna see these crazy things come out? And you're like, no, surely not.
I did mention it yesterday, to be fair, about Naked
Did you?
McGinnis. Yeah, I
Ooh,
did.
predictions
Towards the
coming out.
start of the stream or something like that. But I personally didn't think it would happen. All
Okay.
right. I'll put it out there. So you
Right.
do one up me on that sentiment, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think it's cool to see. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It is unusual. It is exciting, and we will get into the game soon. But for now, we're just waiting around for that to start. And until then, we could just have a little chat with the gamers in here.
Yeah,
and
some real
see
wasabi
what's going
gamers.
on here.
Yeah, please do not vape on the wasabi.
Yeah,
did
true.
Did
People
it?
are starting to get in, I think, slowly. So we've got a little bit of time.
All right,
I'm just
then you know what we'll
adjusting the
do?
graphic. Hang on, let me adjust the graphic before we do anything.
All right, we'll let producer Jacky do his thing, but if you guys haven't already, make sure that you do !Discord in our chat and !Twitter for all of our, not all of our socials, but some of our socials for you to follow, and make sure that you hit those up to see when we're live. We will be tweeting, we will be making announcements on our Discord whenever that does happen, whenever we're live on the Deadlock Air channel. So make sure that you follow those to keep up with us, or just follow the Twitch. Follow the Twitch. Follow the Twitch.
Was that like some hypnosis? You say
Yeah,
enough
it's like
times,
subliminal
people believe
messaging.
it.
It's
Yeah,
like, follow the
the Twitch, follow the Twitch, follow the Twitch.
That's the
Join
most
the
important
Discord.
one.
Join the Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, just keep saying it. Eventually it'll become real. Join the Discord. Wasabi. Join the Discord.
Wasabi.
What's happening?
Wasabi.
Oh, that's
wasabi.
brilliant. We need to have !Wasabi and have it linked to all of
Yeah.
our socials or
Just the
something.
clip of, yeah. We can set that up for next time.
Wasabi, and they just paste back, do not snort wasabi.
Do not
Please.
Wasabi.
Do not snort the wasabi.
Wasabi corn. Okay, it
Yeah.
looks like we are getting into the game shortly, so while we wait for the production end to catch up on that, we will get into the game shortly.
Yeah, it looks like it's live. So we'll be
Alright.
live on our end in about 2 minutes. So we can head over and then start
Cool.
warming things up. I think I've set everything up right on this end. So,
So
it should be
please
good.
enjoy match 2 of the evening. We have 3 total, so this is the second one. Jacky and Blank will take you into the action. I've been your host, Damp, and I will be back on the desk after the game. Don't go anywhere.
All right. That's right. So, oh, hang on.
Oh,
The stinger's gone. It's fine. The stinger.
he's back.
It's okay. Everything's fine.
There he is.
Everything's fine. We're okay. God, the stream struggled for a sec there. Everything's all right. Okay, yeah, we're just waiting to get into the game. Clean feed's about 2 minutes behind, so we've got a little bit of time until that catches up with a delay, and then we will get into the action, basically, here for the second game of the evening for Deadlock Core. Obviously, in terms of the bracket, right, quite a big one. This is leading you into a damn good spot in terms of the overall competition, how close you are to making it to the grand finals. This is probably going to be one of the closer games. That's the hypothesis we had for it. And then it set us up for a really, really good last game.
Yeah, man. I'm honestly very excited for that final matchup that's going there. I was laughing over on the desk just because we can currently see the feed and we're literally just watching the very start of the game, which is literally just them setting up.
It's just nothing going on, yeah.
But already you got Catgirl typing in all chat. I love Catgirls so much. They're so adorable and so cute. And then dropping a slick meow in there as well. So yeah, not only in the Discord, it's in the game as well, guys. So don't be disillusioned. It's everywhere.
It is everywhere. And it looks like we're ready to get into it then. They've called R. And we can go. All right then. Catgirl taking on Shrimp. That's the head-to-head that we've got to work with on this one. Should be a pretty tasty matchup. What is the plan? Everyone's spamming, what's the plan? All right, they're on brand for the Discord channel. Everyone's giving it.
Awesome. I love it so much. No.
Oh God, no!
I mean,
not that
sweet.
one. Not that
There
one.
we go. Little
Get rid of it.
on that
Get
one.
rid of it.
I've stolen that already. Let's go on the Twitter. I've caught you.
You've been caught in 4K. Red-handed. Classic Catgirl and friends maneuvers.
But yeah, we're into this already. Irie's in this one as well. So this is sort of a legendary lineup. If you take part in the community quite a bit, you'll know a lot of the names here over on Catgirls and Friends. All really, really cool people, part of the community from the very beginning, back when there was like 500 people on the server. So these guys are definitely the OGs. More OG than me.
If things go bad, I'll be ready.
And I'm pretty OG.
The original gangsters.
Yeah.
God damn. Well, it's good to have them out in action. Unfortunately, to start things off, it's not ideal with the early takedown onto your main man, Mo and Krill, getting done in by the Geist. So you take a heavy hit from the Shrimps initially. It's going to knock you for 6 to open things up here.
No one's dying on my watch.
And all punching all the souls at the moment. Pretty slow start here. Honestly, for Fat Poofy Cat, didn't actually get that much of a soul lead. Still on 718. Had to go back to base here, so did lose out in a couple of ways. So it's not the end of the world. Right now, you've got Bebop currently on 1.5k, highest in the server at the moment, with Abrams and Dynamo being fairly shot out hard from the Bebop McGinnis lane, which is fair enough. That is a tough lane to go into when you're playing on Dynamo and Abrams. Anytime you try and get in deep over towards the McGinnis or the Bebop, you're either getting hit by that fast firing gun from the McGinnis with the large mag. Does a surprising amount of damage in the early game.
Okay, turn of fates there for the Abrams at least. You start to take the fight straight to him. So the McGinnis and the Bebop get some time to shine and hit back heavy, silencing the Abrams. Quite a nice lead starting to build early on as well. About 4k souls in the back pocket. So you're getting the extra money to play with as the farm starts to go Catgirl's way.
Yeah, honestly, kind of a cool start. And it's weird that Fat Poofy Cat has not been able to really get back into the game. And I think it's because there's been a lot of assistance been thrown through from the Infernus. Keeps coming across to harass. He just gets the afterburn off and leaves, which is actually sort of a nuts little strategy coming through from the Infernus. I like that a lot. He's not losing too much on the lane because they're clearing it so quickly. But Irie picks themselves up another elimination over towards the haze there with the bomb.
Going well so far.
Through their defenses.
The Catgirl friends feeling pretty good at the minute. Purring in lane with how the plays have been made. Getting the damage from distance as well on the Wraith. Just peppering out towards the Guardian. Starting to get a bit of chip off and deny the souls. Make it uncomfortable for Dynamo here. And you are starving him out as well. 2.1k to 1.4k on the head-to-head. You get the push up from McGinnis as well. So Naked starting to make plays on the namesake. Nice use of the wall to make it uncomfortable. You get the creep wave trapped as well with the stun and the sudden burst of damage onto him. Dump a whole load of damage into the Guardian and really start to push these lanes out.
Yeah, man, I think for Naked's McGinnis right now, it seems like a pretty cool way to go about it as well, with monster rounds into ammo scavenger as well. Just means that hardly losing out too much on lane in terms of the reload, which is extremely long on McGinnis. But also they're clearing the wave incredibly quickly, which opens things up here for Irie on the Bebop, because you want to be looking for hooks. And if the lane's constantly pushed in, which it is, ooh, hello.
Bebop with a backdoor, slides in through the veil, looks for the harassment of the Abrams. Meanwhile, Kelvin on the chase. It's the battle of fire and ice, but both of them are on the same side. You look for a turn and a quick stun. Response from the Verdictor isn't on target though. Crayon was looking for an opportunity to get a bit of damage back. Meanwhile, you've got an uncomfortable position for Dynamo here. Knows the ult's coming in. Your wave's getting ruined, but if you even so much get caught on the peak round the back, it's going to get a bit uncomfortable. You try to re-engage, get the knock up onto the Bebop, translocate out of there as well, and peace out.
Yeah, honestly, for Fat Poofy Cat, it's kind of unfortunate, right? Because I think they have a great start to their laning phase, but the switch out coming through from Kelvin very, very frequently with the Infernus constantly switching on the lane. Yeah, it's tough. And even so, like, just moved over towards the Kelvin as well as Krill lane now, just to try and push it back, because Mo and Krill with Scorn as well as the Kelvin on Arctic Beam can push a lane back heavily. So a lot of pressure being denied here by the hook over towards the tower with full auto. That's a lot of damage being pumped through onto that Guardian.
Dumping a whole load of DPS. Getting those lanes pushed up. About 8k souls ahead as well for Catgirl and friends. Looking pretty good right now. You get an extra little bit of deny potential off the back of the wall and the turret to give you more breathing room here to stop the deep push over on Greenwich lane. Calling for a bit of backup as well. Rotation coming over. Wraith in the back line looks for the chase down. You're going to get that stun off. That's the lift from the telekinesis into the engage with the gun and the card tricks. Dynamo down and out. You lose your Abrams as well. Both of them down for about 10 seconds here, giving more freedom to put pressure on, and they can keep grouping on this one.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really glad that they put so much pressure on the Dynamo lane as well as the Abrams, because you see here, Dynamo, 2.8k, not even found ultimate yet at 6 minutes 30, so it's a case where he hasn't been able to make any plays around the map because he simply hasn't had access to the greatest tool in his kit, Singularity. So I do think this is a very, very smart maneuver coming through from Catgirls and friends, and they have this crazy chase down potential. I didn't even consider it before, but with the wall from McGinnis, that's huge. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Nice one, Ooga Booga COD style, I think it is.
It is indeed, mate.
Why has he made me say that?
The old Ooga Booga COD style. Hitting them with it. Living up to expectations. So 7 minutes deep. Just shy of about 10k soul lead. In a pretty good spot so far. In terms of the front wave of Guardians as well, you've taken 2. That's going to be Yorkside and Greenwich that have both been pushed out. Oof. Unlucky there, mate. That's going to be the big pause coming out for Catgirl with a swipe straight through Haze. McGinnis again, the ult's off cooldown so damn much. You can single him out like this, mate, with the build you're going for. Ton of dump on the damage. Dynamo gets absolutely shredded. And you can just keep going off the back of this. Catgirl gets the push up for another Guardian. So 3 out of the 4 of the first wave of Guardians completely destroyed. You keep staggering these pickups on the kill as well with the Mo and Krill. Now getting assisted by Kelvin. Oh, goodbye, Shiv. Surely he goes down in the end off the back of Kelvin assisting for that one. So Catgirls doubles up. That's going to be another staggered kill. Wraith keeps it rolling as Abrams is caught. It's starting to get uncomfortable now.
I'm pulling the patch notes. also looking at, oh, the failed Singularity as well. This is unfortunate. Just living by the lifesteal. Should be able to do this with the old card trick and the anticipated parry as well off the back of it. Very well played from LGDK. Let me just pull up McGinnis's patch notes. I need to see the spirit scaling that they added.
That was
nuts,
pretty
dude.
insane right now, mate. The sheer burst fire of damage you had to work with. It's a nice catch at least from Fat Poofy Cat with a backup of Vindictor. You get the snipe off, so you dump a bit of damage back down. Naked can't get away for free on that one. But yeah, single target, Dynamo just getting slowed so much and absolutely ruined. It packs a punch right now. So fair play, making it work.
0.3 to 0.35 on the spirit scaling. That's kind of nuts. I'm surprised it's increased the damage by that much in the early game. I mean, there's 700 damage burst in around about 2 seconds, let's say. Insane. We'll see if he maxes it. The only difficulty with McGinnis is just movement potential. It's very easy to chase down, but look at these turrets already just melting the Lady Geist.
Yeah, catches the Geist. Card trick's going to be good for it. Fire rate increase with the full auto. Abrams using it for the escape. Seismic impact not saving your backside this time, though, as he's still hit with reality. It's naked on the McGinnis again, continues to put more pressure on. Goodbye Geist as well. Brittle Bones, she'll need a hip replacement on that one.
Yeah, tough stuff, honestly. Right now, 61k to 40k, and this is looking pretty bad for $6 shrimp special. Again, guys over on Cat Girls and Friends are just living and breathing this game since its release. And it's pretty evident here, the way they're playing. Is this the second Walker going down? So that's another flex slot acquired. Oh my goodness me! Hook from downtown in the lane. Lady Guys didn't know what hit her. That certainly was majestic on the leap.
That's brutal. Pound for pound right now. You're getting absolutely battered. So really starting to unravel on this one. 67k to 45k in the sole lead. Again, you get caught. Dynamo, he's living a walking nightmare, mate. McGinnis just running it down time and time again, being able to assassinate onto the Dynamo. Oof, this is brutal. And that's going to be the full dive onto the mid-boss as well. Still rejuve off the back of it. Pretty much putting themselves into a position where you can force these lanes even heavier than you had been previously. You get the reset into the team fights as well. It's not looking good. Abrams is fast on a rotate. He's posturing up top, thinking about it. But there's no easy steal for this one.
Not really. I mean, and the Abrams can maybe go for something, a decent shoulder charge, but they were playing on all three corners of it, so it wasn't likely to get him out of the way, and they take down Innate there and can continue to push these walkers down. Really well played from Cat Girls and Friends. That hook from Irie was summer out of this world, man. That was very, very fun to watch, and it was just kind of sad watching Dynamo turn around, looking at Naked just in the eyes, just pleading. This is a big ult, though.
It's not bad. It's certainly not bad. You get a nice bit of damage back over. Bebop finally getting some leg room as well to play. Hyper Beam comes out for the battle back. Vindicta looking to assist. You force them out at least, but the wall comes up to block your line of sight. 3 players down, and this has gone from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. Vindicta, I don't think you're slipping away from this one. They're dumping damage on you. Consistent snipes for the fadeaway, but the dot damage is going to be burning, and that's if you don't get slapped in the face by a big old mole.
Dude, the wall into combustive concussion is so incredibly cool and so incredibly troll. That is so unfair in terms of combination. Maybe we have been sleeping on the McGinnis. Maybe we just need to wake up from this nightmare and realize that McGinnis is the dream. Another hook from Irie from the base.
No, dude, this is rough. Consistently keeping all of the damage on, and you're just getting farmed now. 3 pickups on both of the shrines. Everyone's in position with the Rejuvenator still going strong. You can dump damage onto the Patron, leave everyone on Shrimp's side in an uncomfortable territory. 10 seconds until the wave of respawns comes in. So one more team fight of the staggered spawns, and the game is done if they take it.
Damn, bro, this is unfortunate. And the worst part about this as well, when you're playing up against the McGinnis, is you can set up tons of turrets in the base and actually make it viable to continue the push. Already shredding the Patron. Mo and Krill drops down, Jacky.
Here we go. You're looking to finish it right here, right now. Then you get all the damage from different points. They're able to battle their way through it, and Cat Girl and Friends make it look easy. They devour that shrimp and pick themselves up a very tasty game for that one blank. Setting us up with what we expected then in the end. Not as clean from Shrimp. We were hoping for a bit more fight, but it wasn't there for them, bud. But Cat Girl's side looking strong. There's a reason why they came second back in the opening Downtown Showdown.
Yeah. Man, I love Cat Girls. What can I say? That was a really, really awesome match coming through from them. And if anyone's to pull out some cool combos, some interesting picks, it was definitely going to be Cat Girls and Friends. Irie, though, just shocked me. The sheer skill on the Bebop. Like, some of those are the best hooks I've seen in comp so far. Like,
Yeah,
it was some real skill expression from Irie during that game. Really, really fun to watch. And I think the mental did get cracked on the Majestic Leap hook. I think that was when it was GG.
No, 100%, man. 100%. I think that was super sick. We saw some cool moves there. Again, you know, it's one of these games now where, like we said, the closer we get towards that grand final that's going to be going on, the more tantalizing the matchups get. Next game that's going to be on your screens should be a showstopper. Hoping for something exciting here. Bit of a grand final rematch going down in the semi-finals. So we'll be back on your screens in a couple moments' time. For now, we'll head over to a bit of a brief break, and then we'll get back in with the action. So we'll see you in a sec.
Hello everyone, my name is Daisy Damp Powers and I'm here with the first Dead Air player interview. I'm joined by Piggy, one of the winners of the recent Deadlock Masters event. Hello Piggy!
Hello, hello.
Hello. Why Piggy? Why not Froggy or Doggy? Explain.
So, simply put, I was playing Minecraft when I was like 12 or something. I liked the pigs.
Okay.
Then I was like, I'm gonna shorten it, made it into Piggy, and then that's just like the entire story.
OG Minecraft days.
Yeah, yeah.
Sick. Okay. How does it feel to have won Aurora Deadlock Masters?
Feels good.
Nice.
I had good teammates. That's all I could really need, to be honest, as a support player.
What does the future look like for the team? Do you guys have any plans or anything like that?
I don't know, to be honest. I've asked, but who knows in the future?
Who knows? Deadlock might get huge.
More than likely, to be honest.
You know, there's a career in there.
Yeah.
In the tournament, you played a lot of support roles such as Calvin and Mo and Krill. Can you tell me what makes those characters so OP right now?
Calvin is probably gonna get nerfed because of his beam. It slows for 80%. Calvin just feels really strong. In a team environment, specifically, you have the dome, you have slows. It's just really impressive to play against. Calvin just allows you to retreat easily, take a lot of space, and if you're getting pushed by like a ult or something, you just Calvin dome.
All around good for everything.
Yeah, He's just really strong. Same with Mo and Kroll.
Yeah.
Point and click stun. Really good in the team environment, especially if you're ganking. A lot of value from one character. And the disarm is also really strong. In some fights, you want to just single out one person, like a haze or something. You just disarm that guy, and then you phantom strike on top of him again, even more disarms. That's quite strong.
Do you think that with the current roster of heroes that there are multiple viable comps, or are there only a set number of picks at the moment?
Right now, I feel like there's just a small roster of actually playable characters for a competitive setting. Like, there's a bunch of heroes that really don't fit into the competitive scene. Like, McGinnis is just there. She's kind of just bad in competitive. I mean, no one has experimented with her, but like, she has no tempo.
It is just very surface level, heavy DPS. That's all she does. There's no expanding on that for sure.
It's like some characters are just unplayable, to be honest. 7 right now is like really weak in high MMR lobbies because the games are usually over before 15-20 minutes. But he's really strong in low MMR lobbies. Games last for like 40 minutes and then 7 gets value. The same with like Ivy. Ivy's really weak right now in laning stage, but she gets really good in later stages because of the AoE silence.
So much insight. This is sick. Okay.
The only experience I have in terms of MOBAs is League.
Really?
Yeah, I got to Diamond or something like a while ago.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, my roots are FPS, but
That's crazy.
like I just have so MOBA background.
What kind of FPS games do you like? This is the real test.
I've played every single FPS game you can think of.
Every single Valve FPS game?
Not Valve, because I don't like tech shooters.
Okay, fair,
So I
fair.
played Apex, I played Overwatch,
Oh, that's it.
Hyperscape, yeah.
If you had a direct pipeline to Valve, what would you want to tell them?
Probably just to keep improving the game. Yeah, work on Deadlock instead of TF2. I'm joking.
Just kidding. If you were to enter a food eating competition, what food would you pick?
Probably pizza.
Pizza! Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Would you like do the water dunk method?
I probably would, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
We'll have to test in real life at some point at a Deadlock event. We'll put you to the test.
I'll enter.
Now, can you tell me what sets apart a good Deadlock player from a great Deadlock player?
Probably understanding the timings of when things are gonna happen. At 10 minutes, mid-boss spawns, urn spawns, buff spawns, wave management, understanding when to push lanes and when not to push lanes, understanding when to rotate, understanding when to gank. It's a bunch of things. It's too much.
It's too many things.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's something that sets people apart?
Probably understanding how to like actually team fight,
Ooh.
because not a lot of people understand how to team fight right now.
Yes. Playing with friends, always more fun.
Same with rotations, for example, with the Calvin ice path to secure urn and like simple things like that. Just,
Yeah, like who picks up the urn?
like these small things do so much, but people don't actually understand how it works. But yeah,
Yeah, awesome. Cool. What is your biggest advice for someone just getting into Deadlock? Because we're going to have a lot of those.
probably limit test and try and just do things that are just like stupid, but just keep limit testing until you like find out the limit of your character, whatever you're playing, right? Then slowly just improve in a way.
That's good advice. Good luck to everyone out there limit testing. That's the end of the interview. As a Mo and Krill master, we're going to have to burrow our way out of here. Burrow! 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 Hello everyone, we are now on the veto. How exciting! Wow. The next game is now happening in just a moment, and I'm here with Jacky and Blank to help me understand what I'm seeing on my screen right now. Can you guys break this down for me?
Let's break it down. Let's
Break
get
it
into
down.
Breakdance time.
Breakdance time. Bebop banned. I mean, you imagine that the Cabal were watching that last game, did not want to allow Cat Girls to pick up Bebop again on Irie because it was devastating, and Shiv banned. So 2 targeted bans that came through for both sides of the teams, which makes sense. Kelvin, Dynamo, and Monkrill picked up for the boys over on the Cabal, though. So already a pretty terrifying roster picked up. And you can see here, Cat Girls and friends looking to sort of figure out how they want to deal with this one. I kind of like the Abrams Paradox and the Infernus pick. Abrams and Paradox can pair together really nicely. You know, you get Paradoxical swap into a shoulder charge. This is the type of thing you'd like to see, because realistically, Paradox is very good at getting the enemy closer to you, and that's where Abrams does his best work.
I do like what we're seeing so far, and I do think this will be a lovely match. What do you make of this, Jacky?
Yeah, I think this should be sick, right? Like, this is kind of what we've been leading up to in terms of the games today. It's a banger semi-final. You've got a rematch, the head-to-head between two teams that have bouted before, obviously with Catgirl squad coming second. You'd hope that they're going to turn up here, show us some good signs off back of what we saw in the previous matchup. It was relatively one-sided there, but this is going to be a lot closer. Again, though, Cabal, I do think are going to be further ahead in terms of the individual, the mechanics. I reckon you've got that edge to work with there, so that's going to be something to keep your eyes on. But again, it bodes well. It looks like we actually should get a relatively tasty matchup out of this one. I'm hoping for some good highlight moments. I'm enjoying the picks and bans so far in terms of what we're getting to work with. So, I mean, with Bebop and Shiv going out the way early, that's fair enough, right? Like, Bebop is pretty damn strong right now, even following the nerfs. He's still kind of giving it the big one. Geist on the pick there as well. I don't mind that. That'll be pretty tasty to see for the old Catgirl and Friends roster. Do like a bit of Geist from time to time. A little bit more classic though, isn't it? On the other side of things for Cabal, right? You got Kelvin. You pick up the Dynamo and the Mo and Krill as well alongside the Wraith. So a lot of utility, a lot of usability, and then your extra damage for the engage as well.
In the battle between Cable and Cats, I do think that Cable will have the upper hand. Cabal, rather. But yeah, I do think
I mean,
they will
that was
have
a
the
good
upper
pun
hand.
at least.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
like where you're
I
going
did
with
go
that. Like,
for it, but I don't think
saw.
it landed, so
You just
it's
didn't
fine.
commit.
I should
You
have
should have
stuck the
committed.
landing.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It's fine,
Like
it's
a cat.
fine. It's not
Yeah,
real. It
like
didn't
a
happen.
cat chasing string.
Oh, that's,
I
yeah.
meant more like sticking the landing. Every
All right.
time.
Oh,
Oh,
like
there you
ha-
go.
yeah,
Okay, well done.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's kind of unfair because everyone in Catgirl's team has soul rebirth 9 times.
That's right, and they're never leaving the game rejuvenated 9 times. But yeah, I think that I kind of the way I'm looking at Catgirls and Friends comp at the moment is they have some good utility towards that early game,
Yeah.
but it's more of a team fight composition. Whereas you look over towards the Cabal, they're playing kind of a pick-off style where they can lead into that late game if they do pick up this pocket with the Dynamo on side as well. Singularity is going to come in a lot of handy. I think it's going to be Leafa on the Wraith and a Viscous picked up last for Catgirls and Friends. So we're kind of seeing like a bit of both here because a lot of times what we've seen from the compositions in terms of picks is early game versus late game or flips either way. But this is very much a little bit of early game for Catgirls and Friends and a little bit of early game coming through from the Cabal, albeit a little bit more early game for the Cabal here. So super curious to see how this one actually turns out, but I'm glad just not to see Shiv in the lineup for the first time in a while.
For sure. I do think that both of these lineups are pretty strong for the most part. The only thing is, on the side of Cabal, I do think, in my eyes, it's a bit more synergized, just ever so slightly. The team looks like it has synergy, it has momentum. Catgirls, I'll have to see it in action to believe it, I reckon. Let's go to the desk as we discuss and break this down, and we wait for the match to start. This will be our last match of the evening, so for all you people here, with the 1,500 people watching, thank you so much for joining us for this side of the bracket for the Deadlock Core number 2 tournament. It's been so nice to spend this evening with you. You know who you are.
You.
But yeah, I do think this is going to be rough for Catgirls. It'll be a good game for sure, so there's no question on that. But it's a question on whether they can show up where it counts, rather. What do you think about this, Blank?
I think that genuinely, like, what I'm looking at from Catgirls and Friends is that I like the team. I think that the team has some talented players on it. It's just for the Cabal, they're a very, very strong team, and they've had experience against some of the best players right now in the scene already and gone toe-to-toe with them. Catgirls and Friends, huge amount of experience. They've been here since the very start of the playtest. A lot of these players on side. The one thing I'm really curious about, though, is definitely the Viscous pick. We've seen quite a few Viscuses over previous tournaments so far in Deadlock. But I don't think I've seen anyone playing him to like the same level. I've seen like I think it's Kaiser in game, if I'm remembering the name correctly. Really, really good Viscous. If you want to go watch, you should go watch some of his gameplay, some of his match IDs. But he plays Viscous very aggressively in the early game, using more Goo Ball to rotate rather than do damage. There's also a really funny thing you can do with Goo Ball is if you hit, instantly press 4, cancel it, you can actually get heavy melee off in the time that drops. So you're usually building into Spirit Strike and melee lifesteal anyway, which is additional percentage to weapon to melee damage. Really, really fun things you can do with them. So this is the game where I don't want to see a really passive Viscous. I've seen too many of those in a lot of the tournaments we've watched so far.
Well, that was
No.
great, but let's redo the draft again and
Yeah,
see if any of that's
exactly.
relevant.
So that was all very, very interesting, Blank. Genuinely. However, the draft was not real. The draft is now being done again. There was an issue beforehand, and no, none of it was real. We rewind. So yeah, let's do it again. Run it
Okay,
back.
so they're running it back the same way they did the bans before. At a certain point, there was a problem with the draft. That's the information we've been given. So I guess one of the picks was incorrect, and then they're running it back to redo the draft now to actually have the relevant characters. So let's see. You've all been rused.
Fake news.
Yeah, it was the best draft, the greatest draft. Look, I love that draft. No one understood how good that draft was.
All right, so it looks like we are seeing a ban on Shiv from Catgirl's side. That is interesting.
Yeah, same bands and same picks to start off with. So Abrams and Furnace to Paradox, as well as the Kelvin, Dynamo, Mo, and Krill. So yeah, there's absolutely no difference here to begin with. So maybe it was that Viscous pick, and everything I said, like you said, Jacky, is useless, which is unfortunate. But there's my little thoughts on Viscous. Clip it, ship it. Wraith picked up again. Definitely. I think Leafa will play the Wraith, I'm assuming. And we're also grabbing the Yamato on site. So I think it was just those last picks that went a little bit skew-if. Catgirl Ivy.
So we're getting the Catgirl Ivy.
Catgirl
That was
Ivy.
the issue. Let's see. Hang on. What's the crack? What's happening here? Ivy comes
I reckon
in.
that's why we redid the picks, to be fair.
Will there be no Whiskus?
No Whiskus, please. Bring in the Whiskus.
No Mr. Whiskus.
I think you'd need more frontline, to be fair. So the Whiskus wouldn't be a bad option, considering Kelvin, Dynamo, and Mo and Krill are already picked.
For those of you who are new to the channel, by the way, feel free to follow us for more Deadlock tournaments in the future. This is not our tournament. This is Moot Monthly's tournament that we are helping cover. Only one half of the bracket, and this is the last game of the evening.
Yeah, for our side of things, then they'll be taking things away with the grand final. They'll be live, obviously, once both of the semi-finals are played out. That's what's happening right now. We had an issue with the draft, so we're getting through that, and then we'll be getting into things. So, giving you the laydown on what's happening. Okay, so Hayes' pick here on the other side of things. You get the last pick about to come in for Catgirl's side. So yeah, this is the real draft. Like Dickinson's real deals.
We should get into the game shortly as soon as we finish up this draft, but overall, pretty good picks. I like where this is heading. Somehow this feels a lot more synergized on both sides. I'm not sure exactly what's changed for me, but I do think this will be a little bit more balanced, at least, into the game.
Yeah, it's just the Ivy, really. I think that's the only
I think it's
real
just
change.
the eye, right?
And there's the...
Well,
So
so
much
Hayes
aura.
was
last time
different.
around, you had Warden and Viscous. So instead of Warden and Viscous, you've got Ivy. And you had Yamato
one more.
Pocket. So rather than Yamato Pocket, you go Yamato Haze.
7.
Okay, so it's no Warden, it's no Whiskus. Instead, it's Ivy and 7 that Catgirl have gone for. So that's the difference there. So Pocket was wrong. Warden and Viscous were wrong. So there was 3 incorrect picks on the last draft, and that's what's been adjusted here.
Okay, bold prediction from me, and then I'll ask for your guys' predictions, because this is going to be an interesting one, as we'll bring it back to the desk. I don't think that we're going to see the full potential come out from 7 in this match. I do think that relatively we've been seeing some quick matches throughout this tournament, and 7, I think he needs to get a warm-up, he needs to get into the game. Usually those longer games is where you see him really shine, but in these matches, I don't think that they'll be able to break him into this game in a way that's meaningful. So that's my prediction. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot from that 7, but I would be happy to be wrong, you know.
Yeah, I think it's right now the general consensus is that the 7 just isn't that strong in comp play, and definitely needs, like you say, that warming up time. You know, you've got the old Seven over here just needs to get a bit of that electricity flowing through him, and that takes a while, right? The coal generators aren't quite running yet.
It's like Reggie
so
Gigas, slow to start.
yeah, absolutely. So I think for Severed could be an interesting pick. We've seen Leafer actually do quite a lot of work on it before. It just takes time, and you realistically need a team that can hold out. And again, you've got Ivy with Kutsu Bomb, as well as Lady Guy's Essence Bomb and Infernus, who can clear lanes really quickly, which might buy time for the Seven to be able to actually jungle, hit up those tier 3 camps and the tier 2s to get into the game. Because Catgirls do have like a very heavy delay squad right now, but it just depends how quickly the death ball comes through from the Cabal and how well Catgirls actually deal with that death ball.
Jacky, do you have any crazy predictions going into this matchup?
I think at this point it's just one where I'm hoping for a nice game. Like I'm hoping for a pretty meaty series on this. I don't want to see lanes getting absolutely stomped too early in the opening moments. I think it should be a lot more competitive than a lot of the games we've had here on this side of the bracket. Obviously, it's been pretty heavily weighted, right? We said going into day one, the sort of format you've got here with the court deadlock number 2 it's a gauntlet, right? You can't really have any room for errors. If you've got slow starts, if you're still getting into the groove of competitive deadlock, it's cutthroat. You're going to lose those opening games. You're going to slip out of the bracket early, and that's why you're seeing our sort of highest seeds on either end of the bracket stormroll their way through. But now we're getting to the point where there are some challengers, right? It's a bit more Smash Bros on this one. So I'm excited to see what Catgirl and Co can bring to the table. We know you've got some good mentality. You've definitely got the skill to back it up in key environments. It's just how much of a difference is there going to be on the benchmark between them and Cabal the second time around? Because that's the fun bit, right? This is what, about a month on now we get the
We didn't even
rematch
talk
again.
about that. So this is, for those who don't know, and actually a really interesting game because this is a rematch. Blank, do you want to give us the lowdown on why we should care?
I can do, yeah. So I think it's one of the very first tournaments that we ever saw was the Downtown Showdown, which was the grand finals going between the Cabal and Catgirls and Friends. In that game, Catgirls and Friends did in fact lose versus the Cabal, but like you say, they've had a lot of time to drill things going through. It was about a month back, maybe a little less, but yeah, either way, really fun tournament. But again, this is where they get to have their rematch, right? They get back in the ring together and brawl it out a little bit. Again, I think there's been some serious improvement from Catgirls since that event. They do look really, really strong. And I think they're consistently all the time, even just like playing in community games together, trying to get a better performance on board. So I'm excited for this one. This could be a lot closer. Then again, the Cabal are just such a strong team with a lot of storied players that have gone pro in other games as well. I think that's the difficulty. But again, these guys have been living and breathing, I'll say it twice, this game since it very first came out on the side of Catgirls and Friends. And that might be the difference maker, just knowing the game inside and out.
All right. So it looks like we are getting ready for the game to start. So I'm going to go ahead and send you to the casting booth. But before I do that, let's stop beating around the bush. Let's do official predictions. Who do you think is going to win, Jacky?
Ooh, no more fence sitting.
No more fence sitting.
I think Cabal take this, and then we get a hell of a grand final out of it. I think things are shaping up really tasty for that head-to-head with kind of, number 1 and number 2 seeds right now. So, yeah, I think that's the way this goes. I think it'll be a good game, but I reckon there is an edge for Cabal.
And Blank, what about you?
Yeah, I'd agree with Jacky, and I could be totally wrong, but honestly, I think for Cabal, that edge is definitely there. I really like Catgirls and Friends in terms of a team. I think they've been doing some interesting stuff and bringing out some interesting picks, especially at the beginning, and making it work. That was so cool.
Right.
But yeah, again, looking to get into this match very shortly, with Catgirls playing over on the Sapphire side, as well as the Cabal being over on Amber here on the left, just for you guys at home. But yeah, I think it will be a Cabal win.
All right.
Thinking.
I think I'm gonna go for Catgirls because I want to be there for the cats. I want to support them. I root for them. If there is one Catgirl fan, it is me. I'm just kidding, but yeah, I really do hope that they do well, and I'll be on their team for this competition. I'll believe in them. So yeah, I'll go ahead and send you guys over to the casting booth so you can get started as soon as the game is ready, which should be shortly. For everyone who is at home, thank you for tuning in to Deadlock Air. Please enjoy this final tournament of the evening, brought to you by Jacky and Blake. Boys, take it away.
Back in business once again with the Cabal looking to jump into this one. Kelvin, Hayes, Mo and Krill, Rafe as well. Hayes' Rafe comp is sort of nutty. Jacky, if you can play both these characters very, very well. I think I remember, I think it was, we were watching Hardeki in the Aurora tournament, where he hit that unbelievable spray on the headshot through a fixation. It was insane. But yeah, if you can play a Hayes extremely well, you can get some massive damage off. Already Mo and Krill just harassing over towards Cat Girls and Friends.
Krilling them, hitting them heavy. Man's got the chain swinging, and he's looking to do some damage. Oh, all right then, let's strap in for this one. It should be a tasty semi-final. It's what we've been building up to at this point. Looking forward to seeing what we'll be getting out of this one as we are into the action. We're looking to see how this is going to go in the initial laning phase. Just getting the punches off, making sure it's more awkward and uncomfortable to get the soul denies at least to start things off here. See if you can pull ahead in terms of the soul lead early. A little bit. Dribs and drabs extra to work with already for the side of Cabal as you make a move. 1k souls up off the first wave. So looking pretty good for the opening round of denies at least to harass and put the pressure on.
Again, it does look a little bit rough right now, but a nice pickup from Catgirl over towards Hawk there to start things off in terms of the soul lead. We're 2k to that 1k, just past there from a 2k differential for Catgirls as well as the Cabal. But yeah, the Haze currently doing some real work, and it's nice to see Leafa back on the signature Wraith. Maybe we'll see some magic carpet action, Jacky, who knows?
It'd be sick. It would be sick. We saw how good it was made to look before. The Aladdin Wraith build. You go in with the magic carpet engage. You can use it for escapes if things get a little bit squeaky bum time as well. And it's particularly exciting. We'll see if he pulls it out. It could be fun. The minute though, back to basics. And again, you get a little bit of a clash here from the elevated peak. Trying to deal some damage, at least from the top rope, and harass with how deep Kelvin's gone to put the pressure on to the wave. Easy clean up so far for Leafa as well, showing how good he is with the mechanics, just cleaning his way.
Mate, Sharky's doing a pretty interesting tech here. So pre-10 minutes, you share all the souls at max value. So right now, Sharky on the Haze is passing between both lanes right now to get maximum soul benefit, which is why he's already grabbed himself 3k. Funnily enough, this is something that's detailed in Catgirl's advanced guide over on the Discord. So quite amusing. So already at 3 minutes reached bullet dance. This is an incredible thing to go for, especially when you just pump all your souls into one teammate. And it's really awesome, especially on a Haze who, if they get ahead, they could really take control of the game. It's an insane tactic. It's hard to pull off because you have to stall the lane, especially on the Kelvin. I think right now Infernus is also trying to pull off something similar, but between the two lanes, a little bit more tough.
Yeah, it's fun to see it in action. It was something obviously that kind of was documented a long time ago. The old cat-girl split push on the lanes. Make sure you get the most out of your farm. And again, you're seeing it in action now. Looking pretty good for them to at least give you a nice opportunity to build into this early. Obviously, soul lead-wise, it's only about a K ahead. It's been relatively consistent throughout the flow of the game up to this point, though. But no early domination in terms of the Wave and the Guardians, which is boding well, at least for a bit of a closer matchup. Two team fights breaking out, though. Posturing on either side. Bit of a group up, and you're rearing up for a bit of an uppercut here. See if you can put the pressure on deep. Dynamo with a move out, looking to escape and dive on in. You get the knock up, that's clean. If he can trace, it should be the follow-up. So both Catgirl and Seven going down. It's nice picks across the board.
Yeah, awesome coming through from the Cabal here. Nice translocate as well from the Dynamo. Very smooth. I mean, when I use that thing, sometimes it definitely goes awry and ends up in places I don't mean to. Hydration going down to LGTK, though, will be a little bit of a trade coming through from Cat Girls to Cabal. But already 4.3k accrued here for Hayes. I think Infernus trying something very similar here in terms of the sharing of the souls, but now looking to focus more onto that tower once he is at the ultimate point. But yeah, Hayes just absolutely going to be ripping through targets. So at the moment, it is just a case of get that Mo and Krill in action as well as the Kelvin and give time for that Hayes to get online. But versus a lot of the teams we've seen Cabal play against, you know, Cat Girls are holding their own.
Yeah, they're keeping it pretty close right now, which is what we were hoping to see at least. So all in all, giving us a good game out of it. Mo and Krill, though, trying to make the best of a bad situation. Instantly engage in the combo. You get the grab off Infernus, spreading the flames and looking to light them up. Ooh, dot damage is pretty meaty, but Mo and Krill getting the spawn off to try and keep himself alive as well. You're trapped inside the dome, though. Kelvin catching the Geist. Oh, mate, this is OAP abuse. They take down Lady Geist on the push-up and completely flip the script on that one. All right, so pretty nice off the back of the engage here towards York. You're cleaning up even when they keep dumping numbers on you.
Yeah, and even the Frost Grenade being hit on that tier 2 so early to get the heal as well, so they can just continue pushing. This is what I'm talking about. This is usually the setup you go for, is that you just roam around now. And the fact that the Haze is able to share those souls, she's in a position where she could roam without too much negative effects to that roam as well, because she was so far ahead just with the Mo and Krill and the Kelvin, just putting the pressure over towards the Cat Girls. Lady Geist on 3.3k as well as the 7, so Damp was definitely right in the fact that being able to shut down that 7 early, not let him get ahead as the Cabal start to steamroll this game ahead.
Putting a foot down now. You found your opportunities to seize the initiative, and this is when the game really does start to get rolling down the hill. You're up by 10k souls at this point. You're finding wins when it comes to control of the lanes as well. 3 of the 4 available Guardians now smashed to bits, and only Greenwich remaining at this point. So in terms of the lane control, it's getting worse and worse by the second. You start to set yourself back up for another potential group up for the fight on York as well. This gives Ivy a little bit of room to roam at least towards Greenwich Lane, but your teammates are getting hit. You'll be called in for the backup, but the arrival time is way too far out. To assist, it's already going to be uncomfortable. You're probably going into your demise just to join the rest of the team. Paradox at least buying a little bit to work with, so Ivy arrives on the scene. Catgirl getting the peppering damage off onto the Kelvin, but all that's going to do is knock him back a bit. All in all, you still lose out with, again, another man going down in the fight.
Yeah, it's a gross setup as the Mo and Krill Haze and Kelvin just pain train that roams around the map. The Mo, the Frost, as well as the Dancer bullets is just difficult to deal with a lot of times. But yeah, I think for the Cabal right now, it's just a case of time to go back, take out all this jungle that has just spawned out 7 minutes in, and get a little bit further ahead because they have so much control. They can even start to steal a little bit of the farm coming through on this side. You can see Leafers already going for basement, which is fair enough. Basement does hold a lot of the soul value, so you can steal that away from the enemy team early on. It's sort of massive. I think there's 3 tier 2 camps in there, as well as around about 4 tier 1s.
Dive. Taking the fight straight to hydration, but man's got to dip out to grab himself some H2O. Wants to lick them up though. Scorn off the back of it, knocking them up in the air. Singularity going to be used as well, so the assist from big old Professor Dynamo to make it real rough in the fight by the shop. Diving in through the veil. Ivy going to get slapped in the face as the uppercut comes out from Krill. You're going to get the shutdown at least from the sun. Static charge into the drop down with a stone form to take out the mole and put the pressure back on.
3 punches coming towards you at the same time now. That's terrifying. Yeah, I think he's just buying time to get the Scorn back up again so he could go back in for that. Regardless, though, I mean, Wraith and Yamato with full auto. Yamato's just autos do a lot of damage. So having full auto on top of that is sort of nuts, actually. So they get a fairly good trade off the back of that. A big dive for a Walker. You're happy to see that one go through. Another kill over towards LGTK, which is an awesome one to go for as well. Shutting down the Infernus early on, not allowing to get ahead, means he doesn't start to get frightening towards that mid game.
Still a bit worrying though, man. You're pulling so much further ahead, at least initially as well. We've had a relatively consistent around 9 to 10k soul lead over the mid portion of the matchup. Coming up to about a 10-minute mark now again. Oof. Forcing them out of position, making it incredibly uncomfortable and really starting to clean up on what remains. Of course, it's only been Greenwich that's had its Guardian still standing this late. You lost the first 3 around about the 5 to 6 minute mark. So since then, it's been quite uncomfortable. You know power-ups are about to spawn, so you want to posture for it and look for the fight. Ivy goes for the dive in, hoping to be on target for when it spawns. That's going to come up. You grab it. It's the movement power-up.
No.
Instant pick up on the airdrops. You go for the escape play, but you know they're starting to dive on. Abrams goes in. Dynamo with the dip out, looking to slip away.
So unfortunate there, but at least you pick up the Dynamo in the process. But yeah, you wanted something better than just the movement. In comes the slam from the Abrams. They've lost sight of the Dynamo as he makes his great escape. The Professor on Houdini action.
This could be a bit of a magic trick. Potentially a bad one. Looking like a bad magician as Paradox wants to split
Nice.
Kelvin in half. Flicks him back round into the lane. Infernus looking for the uppercut, but it's Catgirl that brings out the claws. Hayes at least on the reply with support of Mo, Krill, and Yamato. They're all starting to dogpile on you. You got the great chase down into the subway. Smooth moves for the getaway at least to keep close. Ugh, no real escape pattern for Catgirl though at the bottom. Infuses popped. You find the pick up on that one. So a 10-second stagger with 2 down over on the side of Catgirl and friends.
Yeah, this is big. I mean, it looked a little bit terrifying there for the Cabal, but again, they're maintaining this lead and they're consistently pushing out these lanes now. You got 2 of the walkers down. This should be another kill, actually. Just needs to get the card trick off, waits to get for a confirmed one, but in fact, we'll just get the track and trace on that one. Very, very nicely done from Leafa. But yeah, the 2 walkers down, second flex slot 0 right now for the Catgirls. So they're starved for items, unfortunately, on those extra 4.
You get the burst of damage back off. Look to see if you can finally get yourself a little bit of room to breathe on this. Okay, over towards the urn. The chaos kicks off. It's a nice ult from the Dynamo, getting the massive pull in. Feeling the full force of the black hole, but the rotate back over. In comes the Cabal to try and clean up with the mop and bucket. Again, more damage back out onto him. Dumping the DPS on top. Leafa locks it down with the follow-up, so both Geist and Infernus out of play. You were hoping for a quick escape inside of the TP, but no chance for that as you're wiped off again. Kako at least seizes the opportunity to take down the Guardian towards Yorkside.
Yeah, which is sort of big for them, right? That is it's the second to last Guardian they needed. There's still 1 up and available for the Cabal before they get that flex slot, but they're continuing to pressure here. You'd imagine soon we're looking at a team fight that heads into a mid-boss play. A little bit more dangerous to go for against the guys over on Catgirl with both the Ivy and the Infernus. Pretty damn good at denying that. So they get a pick onto both of them. Likely we'll see the mid-boss after that.
And that soul lead only going to keep on bloating now as well. From what has been a consistent sort of 10 to 15k lead, you're now pushing up to 22k. Ooh, knock up, contact in the face of the Infernus. You got the backup. Leafa comes over. And the Eternal Flame goes out. Blow out the Infernus. Leave him for dead again. Another 20 seconds where you're down to just the 5-man squad. Abrams caught on the rotate out as well, so Hayes instantly into the sleep dagger. Calls for the cavalry to sprint on over. Off the back of this, you're going to be able to take the walker as well. So even more map control falling in favor of Cabal.
Yeah, looking for the third one. A massive chunk of damage on the walk all of a sudden. And a slam that comes through that seems ill-advised and certainly felt sick after that one.
Up and down like a helter-skelter. And it is getting a little bit wacky warehouse out there right now. You're causing pandemonium on the lanes. on the side of Catgirl and friends, you're looking to at least somehow reset off the back of this, but with so much pressure being dumped on, and you see everyone grouped towards Greenwich, hitting heavy on the Walker, you're getting a little bit antsy about it. You're trying to set yourself up for the very least a defense if they go deep onto the inner Guardians and try and take down the base setup, but they've already bailed. They want to reset onto the split, make sure that they can double back, continue to keep pressure unanimously around the map here. Seven was farming for a mild opportunity over towards Park, but he's got to give that up now, link up with the rest of the squad.
You're in that point in the game right now, Jacky, where for the Cabal, because they've got so much map presence, they can push these lanes out a lot and then just hope to look for picks, because you've got everything you need. You've got the 4 walkers, you've got all the base guardians, you've got 3 flex slots. Now you can look just to farm and fill those flex slots so you're even stronger in a fight, because eventually that's going to be the case. With not just the 1 flex slot available for Catgirls, if we get to a position where people get to 30k, those type of team fights are going to get really, really tough for Catgirls.
The longer it's in the oven, the scarier it gets. You don't want this one to overcook. Ooh, okay, Stone form into the drop down. You're all ganging up on him. So you're able to find the Haze, shut her down, remove her from play. As a reply back at least, Hawk comes in, hits him heavy. So once again, Infernus, caught unawares. You group up, go for the gamble push, you hope to try and flip the script a little bit, and it's a bit of a base race on this one to put pressure on either side. You're trying to hope that your response of fighting up deep towards their Walker causes the rotation back from them. There's a little bit of a bite on it. You get the wrap back around. The Haze goes in to investigate. The tracing's good from the card trick. Double up round the corner. They go deep. Meanwhile, the Shrines are getting pummeled, and no one's fully committing for the double back. They're just going to batter their base because of it.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to go for the double back, right? And it's a crazy play from Leafer. He loses life for it, but they're getting the patron because he was able to pop people off the zipline, get the stun on them, so they couldn't get back on the zipline. It's insane the way he pulled that one off. Yes, he dies, but I would take the patron every single day of the week for a death on my side. So very well played to Leafer on the Wraith there, just with the movement from Project Mind into the awesome tracking through the Veil. Really, really well done, dude.
Trying to chase them on the way out at the very least. Divine Barrier going to be popped off the back of the 7 to assist the Ivy. Nice uppercut, looking for the slam as well with a stone form, but the frozen shelter giving him so much more health to work with. Yamato comes back over. You were feeling like you were looking pretty powerful in terms of the head-to-head on that fight, but it becomes uncomfortable. They have to posture off. Meanwhile, there's a paradoxical swap that's going to be popped into the silence glyph, so Haze becomes trapped. There's the knock-up as well, with Dynamo coming in to re-engage. Just when you thought there was an opportunity, it's wiped away from you as Dynamo, off the back of the Mo and Krill, into the combo. You absolutely wipe through them. You can take the base Guardians, and it's only Abrams that's left.
It might honestly almost be game. I mean, 18 seconds. Do they have enough time? Because the patron's already weakened, right? With full auto, they might be able to get the damage off, and they are chunking through this thing. It might just be GG for Cabal on an incredible play from Leafer.
There you have it then. The backup comes out swinging. Cabal turn the tide again. Nice final fight towards Greenwich with the Dynamo going off. And all in all, it goes the way of Cabal. Hell of a maneuver to close that one down. That's the semi-final going their way, with them moving on, of course, to the grand finals, Blank.
Yeah, honestly, a really cool game. I think Catgirls did an awesome job to keep up pace with them, with the amount of time they were able to do it for as well. But yeah, those are some awesome moments. I mean, the Dynamo ult into 4 was crazy. Leafer knocking everyone off the zipline so they couldn't head back to assist with the Shrines getting taken down. And because they were able to take that patron, it was just one team fight away. And that's what Dynamo's so good at, is just winning that one team fight with Singularity. Yeah, that's probably one of my favorite games I've ever watched in Deadlock so far, actually.
Yeah, some interesting tidbits to that, mate. You know, a lot of cool mechanics. But that's the way it goes, right? The rematch results in the same outcome as the first time they went head-to-head. Ironically, of course, as well, the grand final will lead you back into the downtown showdown. There's the partnership there between Deadlock Core and DTS. So you get the opportunity to compete into the next one that's coming up, I believe, in the next week. So yeah, mate, a hell of a grand final being set up. Let's get back over to the desk. We'll set the stage for that and then start to move everyone on over for what will be the grand final a little bit later on.
Yeah, dude.
We're back.
We're back.
Go ahead, Blank. Finish your thought.
No, it's okay. You get in there. We've not spoken to you in a while.
Ah, well, thank you. All right, well, we're back on the desk. That was a game. Actually, really, really fun. And I'm not saying this unironically. Like, that was really, really cool to watch. And they held their own. Cat Girls, wow. Absolutely unbelievable plays coming out from their side. And it was really enjoyable just to watch. And I think the result is, yeah, expected maybe from Cabal's technicality standpoint. They have that advantage, but the game itself was amazing, and Cat Girls all the way, you know.
Absolutely. Again, everyone spamming chat right now. If Cat Girls are the million number fans, I am one of them. Me too. Me too. I will support Cat Girls and Friends till the day I die. But Cabal was just that bit better, right? Again, some awesome plays, and I think when we do head over, because we will be raiding over towards Moot Monthly, who will be hosting the grand finals, you'll be able to watch Buff Enjoyers. I believe it's Buff Enjoyers versus the Cabal. I'd assume that would be the case. And that's going to be a great matchup. So again, Michaelis with Listic versus some of the greatest from NA there. So yeah, we'll see. Because it was kind of flipped, right? Because I believe in the Deadlock Aurora Masters tournament, it was a case of... I believe it was Cabal, or at least half of the team they're playing on EU ping. This time around we're flipped. We've got Buff and Joyers playing on NA ping. So we'll see if that makes any difference. And like Catgirl said, last hope for NA.
No, definitely. It's sick though. It's very cool. You got to think about the cultural impact. Although Catgirl Squad might not have won this time around, Catgirl and Friends cultural impact for Valve Software.
Massive.
Who else have we ever seen been able to get Valve developers on a daily basis for months to look at unique images of catgirls around the office? So fair play. The cultural impact there is through the roof. I've never seen anything like it. Round of applause for Catgirl and Friends. Very cool. Naked McGuinness as well. That was dope to see, bringing out the build and living up to the namesake. So yeah, all in all, done well. It's unfortunate, but depending on how things go now, if we get the grand final we were expecting to see, I think that should be a sick one. For anyone that's been following the scene up to date with how the game's going, that's a really cool matchup to have, actually.
For sure. And I think we are going to wrap up here on the Deadlock Air channel. That was all the games coming out from our side, but the other side of the bracket has been going on Moot Monthly's channel. They are the organizers. They've made this whole thing happen. We are simply helping broadcast the other side of the bracket, but our side is done. That was our 3 games for the evening, so you guys can see the grand final on Moot Monthly's channel. We will be rating it after this broadcast very shortly, so stick around if you guys just want to go there right after. That's no problem. We will take you there.
Yeah, all in all though, good stuff. It was fun, very nice, super cool to be a part of it and see how it goes. Always very sick, you know, wonderful seeing all the people that have been supporting Deadlock whilst it's in its infancy of esports. Not easy, you know what I mean? A lot of back end stuff right now.
Yeah.
We know ourselves how much goes into it. So shout out to the guys over at Deadlock Core, putting a lot of work in and making something cool. Been very fun to be here again, guys. So another good one in the books.
Any thoughts from you, Blank? Last final words to the people?
Yeah, thank you so much for watching over the past couple of days. We know we had some hiccups yesterday, but today it's been smooth breathing. And I hope you've enjoyed the games. Thank you very much to Damp and Jacky as well for being here with me. Really appreciate both of you and appreciate all you watching at home. Hopefully see you again. You. Hopefully see you again in future for more Deadlock content.
All right. Bye-bye. Enjoy the grand final then.
I will see you guys later. This has been Dead Air. Bye-bye. Wabibi.